Hello. What's up, yo? Alright, I got thing in Discord. What's up, Abasa? It's going okay? I think I might be quiet. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out the mic check in a second. Mike and Cam are unsynced. What? How? Yo, thanks for the sub, Mercurial. How do you have an unsynced mic? Hi, Gerald. Hi. Okay. No. Okay, we're gonna have to do some mic testing after this review, so hold tight. Basically, I gotta figure out, like, okay, so somebody was saying, so I don't peak. They were saying to turn the gain down on my mic and to turn the OBS down. So basically, I go, hey, woo, hey, whoa, whoa, hey, 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 hey. That peaks, yes? That peak, was that peaking? Is that peaking? Okay, so then I'm gonna go nibbly knobbly noob. That's not working. That's not working either. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay. Okay. I go that, and then I turn, let's turn that to 0. How about now? Hey, everybody, hey! Hoo hoo ha ha hoo hoo ha! Is that better? Or is it still less peaking, but better? Okay, is the overall volume too loud though? So, is the overall volume too loud?
What are you doing?
I was testing my mic. We're trying to figure out the issues. Okay, still peaking but better. Okay, that might be our thing, and we'll toy with more things as we like, because I gotta figure out more than that set. But for right now, it's okay. It's okay for now. For now, I know there's like a lot of other issues we got to get. The other thing that I have to figure out is, you guys hear that? Boom, 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 boom. Do you guys hear that? Maybe if you're on headphones. I gotta figure that one out because I have it like all like, you know, hooked up, you know, but it picks up everything this mic does, like the bass frequencies. It's obnoxious. So it's like, I don't know what to do with that regard. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out with that. Some guy's gonna help me out. Do you not have a shock mount? Guys, I'm sorry. A shock mount? I have to get like a freaking sound earthquake proof mount? Do I need shock absorbers on my standing desk? Man, I don't care if it's $10. It's the principle. Man, okay, yeah, I'm sure I'll figure it out. Well, we'll have more time to sort that one out later. Sadly, I think we'll have to bite the bullet for now, but I'm trying to at least make some progress in my audio quality. You know, I have a better mic, some issues with the mic. Yeah, okay. And I think, here's the thing is, if I could turn down the gain on my mic even less, Danka, then boost my OBS thing, I bet I could do, just hang the mic from a string. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. It's not a great idea. Okay, starting now. Let's take a look at this really quick here. We have a 30-minute replay review. Okay. Masters, nice. Masters Echo. I'm just looking through the form here. Making sure I need to transfer over to there. I am Masters, but I do not feel like I deserve it. I still feel like a boosted gold from season 3, so now I want to get to a state where I feel like I deserve to be in Masters. Well, the irony here is that this review isn't going to change that. If you have an imposter syndrome, you climbing in rank is not going to help the imposter syndrome. That's some sort of internal process that you're going to need to get over. Because if anything, the imposter syndrome is just going to exacerbate the higher and higher and higher you climb. Hello, Malevolence. So, you know, I guess it's like the whole thing with like the imposter syndrome is like there's a gap between where you are and where you think you belong. So if you have the habit of always underestimating yourself, the higher and higher you get, your skill is going to be like this, and you're going to be like, it's going to get, you know, exponentially bigger in the gap. No, today is the big rework seminar thing as soon as we're done with this. So yeah, I guess for you is it's like, I don't know. So here's the thing. Okay, maybe somebody in chat can answer. What's the problem with imposter syndrome? Can anybody in chat tell me what the problem with imposter syndrome is? I can think of 2 problems with it off the top of my head. And again, imposter syndrome is feeling like there's a gap between your skill and where you actually are. I think there's 2 problems. One is you can ruin some of the fun of progressing because you feel like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm not actually earning. So anytime you do you get a rank that you feel like you worked for, you don't actually feel like you earned it. So it kind of steals the fun out of the reward. And the other problem I think is where you don't have enough confidence to make certain plays because you don't actually think that you're good enough to handle them. And so it encourages you to make bad decisions or do stupid things. So it takes some of the fun out of the process, and it also can make you play worse because you're too scared to go for plays that you are skilled to at least go for. Yeah. You take blame for mistakes that aren't yours. That's also a good point. Yeah, true. So it could shift away from the things, because if you take blame for mistakes that aren't yours, then you're not focusing on the right thing. You know? Hey, Rex. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you're objectively where you are right now. I think, like, without trying to be like all corny Mr. Logic guy, like you're where you're at for right now for a reason. So you're gonna have to find a way to work through that, you know. I don't have a lot of experience of working with players with serious imposter syndrome, to be honest with you guys. I'm gonna have some, but I don't know that I'm equipped with it. Yeah, I'm not gonna focus too much on it. We'll focus on the gameplay because this is supposed to be a replay review. But what do you feel is holding back from improving? I feel like kind of like trying to OTP Ego is the biggest reason, but she's pretty good at the moment, so that's a pretty bad excuse. I think sometimes playing the comps that can really jump at me like Sombra Tracer. I can't really do much to them, but I don't know how to position, so they can't just one-clip me whenever I do anything. These are the things I notice a lot, but I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay. All right, so let's just look at some gameplay here. Okay. So Echo is the hybrid of dive and spam, where she has high mobility, high spam, but not the highest mobility or the highest spam. So we talk about this composition. You're not going to be really leveraging your spam much versus this composition at all. You're going to be leveraging your dive. Chat, did I not do an Echo VOD review the other day on Spylo 2? Or am I smoking something? It might have been a private VOD review. I know I did an Echo VOD review. Yes, I did a Grandmaster Echo VOD review. Old Fish Toast, check that one out. Let me actually link it to you, because it's actually versus the more divey stuff instead of the spammy stuff. So we're gonna go over a lot of the spammy stuff here. But if you're curious about how to play like into versus the divey stuff, we talk a lot about that. Actually, he plays into Sombra Tracer, Winston. So I would check that one out. Yeah, I would check that one out if you haven't already. But yeah, okay. So spammy stuff, you know, you can spam Marissa, you can spam a little bit on some of these guys, but it's going to be all about like taking high ground angles to like look staging for dives. Looking at our notes from last session, timing of your high risk, high reward, looking for angles when main isn't allowed for good value. Okay, let's see what we got. So obviously immediately here, like just hard spamming into Hanzo, Ashe, Ana is going to be rough. You know, you can at times, but it's going to be rough. Have I ever reviewed a Yazin VOD? No. But I've been asked to coach Yazin multiple times. I declined because I don't do team coaching. I worked briefly with Yazin, but not with him in person when I coached in the Saudi thing. Hi, kitty, hang on. Hi, come here. Amari. She puts her paws on my lap and then just proceeds to ignore me. Cats are the most human thing. I think this is where, I don't know if this is like imposter syndrome or just like is that an Iron Man shirt? Yeah. Or maybe just a bad read. But like I see Orisa over here. I have a Mercy Pocket. Chat, what should we do right now? Like what should we do right now? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see this and I'm like, I'm frothing at the mouth. So you go for the stickies here, but you really should be shifting up here and getting on top of this guy and going for sticky dive bombs here. Is it high risk, high reward? Absolutely. But I mean, the star, if you want the stars to align, they're not going to align much more than they did right there. I like this angle. This is good. Nice. Check the flank. Yeah, I was gonna say. Ah! So a little bit awkward. Go back, because she's close. See, you don't need to really be scared of her. Okay, this is the thing right here. I don't think you're really reading these situations very well. Because you get this here, and they're like, oh, I missed. I go back. Mate, look at her HP. Look at her HP. You win this at this range. You win this. Take it. Go. Stop. By the time you give up, it's too late. Right? Yeah, and so then you miss your opportunity, and then now here, honestly, your best bet is to not dive bomb. So, okay, so you guys have heard of my tracer sandwich thing? Remember, you don't want to put yourself in between two two angles, right? So like right here, you go for a dive bomb, but by dive bombing in the center here, you kind of pincer yourself between two angles. So we either want to fly here and sticky, or honestly just hold the angle here and like look for stickies here. So try to like kind of stay on the periphery, right? What are you guys doing in my chat? What is that emote? And not dive bomb unless you're on an isolated target. But I really don't think you're recognizing how much of an advantage you have over that Ashe at that range. Stop doing that. Stop. Hey, Digital. What does it even mean? Like what? Okay, I'm on an honest question. What is that supposed? Like I'm familiar with the emote, but like who came up with that? Cat face? Okay, so okay, that makes sense, I guess. But why is a cat face like, oh, cute kitten? Because dude, cats are not like that. Yeah, and why is it ooh woo and go with a cat face? Like how did that start? Ah, please no! Ah! Oh no. Immediately beam. Don't ego. I know you're like, I got it, but just it's okay. Ah, that's a disaster. Okay, that's okay. Ooh, cute. I like what you're about to do here. I don't like what you're about to do here. Grandma from the top ropes! Oh! Dude, imagine it's like the WWE, you know? Watch out, watch out, watch out! Boom! You know? Anna's like dropping from the top ropes. Oh, dude, that's freaking hilarious. That's freaking hilarious. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so I like the idea of the play. I just don't like how you set it up. I would ask how you should probably have set it up, but I feel like that's pretty obvious here. Just fly to here, maybe throw some stickies, then copy Ana from this high ground here. I mean, this high ground is like perfect here. There's just no reason for you to be on top of the Hanzo when copying the Ana on top is just as good, if not better. Yeah, that would have secured that would have secured more kills there. Yeah. I mean, this is cute. Nice stickies. Beam, 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 beam. Holy mackerel, mate! You are too old for this. Use it. Use it. Look at her HP. Beam it! Beam it! Beam it! Dadgum, man. Hope you die. Yeah, good riddance. Okay, so let's just keep going. There's a lot of little micro errors here that we're gonna have to kind of see more gameplay to kind of give ourselves a direction here, because you're doing the right things like most of the time playstyle wise, but like late on beam twice, your copy placement was bad. You don't have enough confidence dive bombing an Ashe when you had any advantage, and then when you were spamming it an Ashe at point blank range, you messed it up, or you bailed, and then you dive bomb late, but you dive bomb in between two people. What are you decalling? Oh, I hope you died. I'm glad you died there. Yeah. I mean, true though. Like it's good to get punished on your mistakes occasionally. I think sometimes it's easy to not get punished for mistakes. But see, the funny thing is despite all the harshness here, chat, does this look like Diamond Echo to you? I'm gonna say that as you missed the full stickies, but I've coached enough Echo to know no. This does not look like Diamond Echo to me. This looks like, I mean, you can even see like the way that you're moving in most of the shots when you're actually taking them. This is fine. Stop with the ooh woo. What is wrong with you guys? Like, I feel like isn't that like no longer not even ironically funny? You know, like there's like funny and then there's like ironically funny. And this is like deep fried. Young Humble, thanks for the sub. Bop. Yes. Yes, thank you. Good. Me on Orisa. Yeah! Good job not beaming that. That one didn't need to beam as much. It's just the little things, you know? One of the things you'll benefit from, which we didn't talk as much with this with our last review, is just taking a quick second with your shots. Just to chat reflects streamer. No, it doesn't. That's a total lie. It's a total lie. Is taking a second with your shots, because like as you see here, it's like like she's pretty low, so you really just need to hit like one more bullet, and she's gonna get to that half HP threshold a little bit faster. So it's just a little off, you know, just a little off. So take a little bit more patience with your shots, with your try shot. I even used the proper terminology. You know? Disengage, run. Nice. I actually think that might be it, but no, we got time. Like what we're doing here? Ah, Charlie Niner. Okay. Spylo is not Uwu. No, Spylo is not. Spylo is not Uwu. I'm even growing a little bit of facial hair. Do you know how long it taken me to grow this facial hair? Seriously. Do you guys want to guess? I think it's been like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I'm not joking. I'm like, I have every, yeah. What do I think of the life lever pick? Kind of crappy, to be honest. Like, this is not a good comp to play life lever into. Okay. Good spam. Yeah. Now, I really like also as well how you're using your verticality, right? Seems good to me. Oh, dear. Do it. Beam! Yes, you're always like a tiny bit slow with the beam. I like this. So here's what I like. Squeeze that extra shot in if you want, but do not greed this beam, because you know the detonation happens right here. So if that extra shot right there isn't hitting, like look at her HP right here. If she gets healed right now, that delay, that frame delay right before the beam is follow-up for the support. It's a window of opportunity, right? It's a window of opportunity that you really don't want to allow. Yeah. So we a little, this has happened a couple of times, but really nice play. Obviously you have ult, so you get to have a get out of jail free card for this kind of thing. I think this whole fight, dang it, dude. I was about to say this whole fight we played really well, but I think this whole fight, besides like some of the mechanical things, has been pretty good. The only thing I would say here is I just wouldn't rush this as much. And I think if you were more aware of what was happening, you can deal with the mercy instead of forcing this here. Because as you walk in, like, you've got to be really careful about shifting in here. Because now, like, oh man. Honestly, I would go for the res. It can't hurt, you know. You die resing, who cares? But I will say, the habit that I see a little bit here. Look at our positioning, guys. You see it? Good. On the outside. In the middle. Scary. And not only that, but we also used our shift there too. You got me? You got to be really careful. Every time that we've ended up in the middle of something, something bad has happened. Starting with first point. Just got to be careful. It's not the aggression, it's the aggression into the middle of nowhere, right? And this is the case for really every hero, especially heroes with mobility. You gotta be really careful. That being said, you copied Mercy, Slay Queen. Toxic, Sora, thank you for the sub, mate. We've been doing well, mate. It's the sandwich? It is the sandwich. The queen was slaying. I will gladly sacrifice your positioning for the good of copying Mercy. All right. Now, chat, we're having a hard time here because we're like, well, where the frick do I position without getting, you know, having to go for a flank? So you guys come up with another suggestion here because you guys are probably thinking the same thing. Like, you know, do I hard flank here? Like, what do I do? Well, you guys tell me. You guys tell me. High ground? Okay. Where? Sit high ground above the Orisa? You could. A little scary with the Hanzo, though, no? You know? Maybe not bad. Could I LOS the Hanzo and spam the Orisa? Maybe. I mean, you could do this here, right? And then if they swing wide like this, do you see the problem with this Hanzo's positioning now? To peek you and your team, he has to push into your effective range. And then we can shift over this direction and do this, or honestly, we could even just spam just from main as well. So I kind of, my point is that, like, you can just play main on a slight angle and make them walk into your sightlines, because and you guys play tank a little bit, right? Like, even with an Orisa, you can dump a motherload on Orisa right here. Like, you can do stickies and damage and force fortify and spin. Like, part of the problem here is that there isn't a lot of frontline presence, and so therefore when you go for the flank, it might be too late. I don't think the flank is the problem here. I think that if the flank isn't attractive, it's not the end of the world if you do control frontline. Case in point, right? It feels like a little bit too high risk, high reward when you don't have your copy. We liked it earlier because we had copy. Now we don't have copy. Oh no, please don't. You know, I mean, so that's the problem. So I think it's just if the flank feels too out in the open for your character, remember your character also has ridiculously high spam, and it might be worth peeking main a wee little bit, just to consider. And here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. Check this one out, guys. Spam from either top, left, or whatever else we want to just main here, and then we spam. And because they're losing frontline trade, this forces the soldier on it to walk forward. So then that opens up the opportunity to flank around. You guys kind of see what I'm saying? If you leverage your spam and they have to come here to peek you, now you don't want to peek them, but that also now opens up the flank to you. Right? That's why Echo is good, because she has that dynamic of she can win frontline trades really heavily, force people to line up, and then use her mobility to wrap around behind. Does that make sense? So this is, I'm going to be very clear, this is not easy to recognize, but there's always an answer. There's always a solution with this hero. When you're playing heroes like Tracer, Genji, Echo, there's almost always a positioning solution. You just have to be clever enough to find it. And if you're not clever enough to find it right now, that's okay. Go back and think about it again. Soldier's overpowered with Mercy. I mean, yeah, Soldier's really good too, because Soldier can control the flanks really easily, and he's very hard to nail down because he's very mobile. So Soldier's also a good hero in this situation. He's a very dynamic middle of the ground hero. I wouldn't even peek here, to be honest with you. Maybe just a little bit, but oh bless me. Yeah, okay. So let's keep watching. A little bit slow to beam. Putting ourselves in the middle of things instead of kind of maintaining an angle. Couple of goof ups with our confidence in close range with the Ana copy. But I want to see more to decide whether that's enough of an issue. Torb, love to see it. It opens up a little bit more spam opportunities. ASMR, just literally hold down mouse 1 in their general direction. And you can kind of say, like, the nice thing about this comp is that as long as you play cover, you can spam a little bit because there's no, like, real one-shot. I mean, they'd literally have to hit a damage-boosted Helix on you in the sky, or Torb would have to hit a damage-boosted headshot. So you can spam versus this comp as long as you play cover.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Now, this is perfection, because this is exactly what we just talked about. Chat, what could we do here? What are our options? Can we hard flank? Yes. A little bit awkward at this range though, right? And at this stage in the fight. Feels a little bit uncomfortable. Feels like it could be very easy for them to turn on us at this range. So what I'm thinking is, well, what do you guys think? Cheers, Serms, or Kerms. I appreciate the kind words. What do you guys think? Hint, it's what we just talked about on 3rd-point defense. Not gonna lie, you guys, I have a devil of a headache, and I don't know why. My neck hurts. I don't know why. Push the Ana? Maybe. Feels too far, no? Posture check. Thank you. Push left side high ground to pull soldier tensions. You could dive bomb the soldier right now. But, yeah. Here's what I would recommend. Tiger, yeah. Shoot the Orisa. Make the Orisa back. Shoot the Torb. Make the Torb back, or even rotate this direction. By doing that, you do one of two things. You make this flank easier because you've pushed them back in towards the flank, or you do what you guys were saying earlier, and you make it easier to dive the top left high ground. If you spam this Orisa and Torb, they will have to tuck in and or back up, which makes the flank easier to take later. Take Orisa's cooldowns to put more pressure and supports than sandwich. Right. So I guess my point with Echo is, like, when you're going for these flanks, like these all-in dive bombs, you could kind of set them up with a little bit of punching in the jaw. You guys ever heard of, like, Awkward's analogy with tracers, where he's talking about, like, the jab, and then you throw a cross, right? You're kind of setting up your power play. I kind of look at Echo does the same thing here. Poke a little, poke a little, poke a little, knockout punch. You don't have to rush the knockout punch. In fact, it's actually bad, because, like, right now, if you don't land full stickies on the Ana, it's not going to do anything. You see that? Doesn't do anything. So, and you're going to keep forcing it, but it's going to keep feeling bad because they're too far away. It's not a bad flank if you were a Cassidy or a Hanzo or a Soldier, something that functions better at this range, but on these squishy targets that are bouncing around, it feels kind of bad. So the Soldier 76 crossfire is hard, so you guys tell me.
Enemy turret destroyed.
How would you spam the Orisa? Well, here, here, here. It's a great question. You guys see this? This is brutal for the Orisa. And the best part about it is while you're spamming, you're also BAM! Right in the mouth whenever you want to. You guys got me? It's juicy. Leverage your spam on a short angle to then set up your power punch. Because the problem is that you are distracting, but you're not really pressuring enough. It's not bad, but it's not good enough. I don't think what you did was bad. Again, it just could be better. That's all. It just could be better. You're kind of seeing it here, where you spam the Orisa, you force a fortify. If you're able to, as soon as this fortify is over, if you're able to force more, you're going to then be able to rotate all the way to over here. If you can get that Orisa out of main. There's the Torb. The Orisa has no cooldowns. Now the angles are free. Okay. Bam! Nice. Careful with your HP. I know you've got copy, but just be careful. I would probably open with Sleep Dart first. Yeah, I just think you kind of force this one, right? And I might have considered... I think it has as much to do with the positioning that you're copying people with too. You're consistently copying people. This is the second one this game in the middle of the enemy team. And it's the same reason why we didn't want you dive bombing directly here or dive bombing the Ana on third point. It's like you really want to kind of be in the periphery. But again, you're kind of like you're smashed between people. And even when you have copy, you really don't want that. You really, really don't want that. Could you have gone through the building behind the Ana? I assume you're talking about here. Yes, that would have probably been better than what we did. If we had a mercy pocket, yeah, that would have been good. Tight. Got going Tuco mode on us. Good lead on the stickies. She actually doesn't move, but that actually will probably kill her because she was too slow to get to cover. Eris is dead. I don't know why the audio is being weird. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's very quiet, muffled. It happens sometimes. It used to happen with double Lucio beat. Nice. Woo, nice shot. I'm telling you guys, this is not Diamond Echo play. This is not Diamond Echo play. I feel like this shouldn't have to be said, but this is not Diamond Echo play, Old Fish Toast. So this is another situation where you need to trust the beam. You need to trust the beam. Right here. Mother of all stickies here. A lot on Mercy. Hit one shot right there. And that beam should have already been out. So it's going to take some practice because what's going to happen is you're going to start, hey, Epic, you're going to beam sometimes. And the target's not going to be 50% HP. Oh yeah, I need to actually fix the rank here. I forget that it still says Masters at the bottom here. Ironic, I'm sitting there, it's not Diamond, and that's exactly the rank that I have in the bottom left. My bad, it's Masters. But the thing is there's like a very careful balance. You beam when they haven't really earned it, you don't get them to the 50% HP threshold. If you beam too late, you give this Ana time to heal her up before you get her to the 50% threshold for beam. You DPS rework in about 5-10 minutes, yeah. Spam, 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 spam. Good. Love to see it. Woo! That's scary. Good move. Really nice shots. One little thing here as well. You're actually hitting the shots. Remember we talked about trigger discipline? Check this. Relax. Don't just spam. Relax. Your shots do so much damage in those close to mid ranges. So slow it down. Slow it down. Only one shot between sticky and beam? No. Don't memorize a pattern or a combo. My point is you need to estimate how many stickies that you land. I would say one shot between sticky and beam if you land a lot of stickies. But if you don't, it's going to take more than one shot. It might take 2 shots. But my point being is that you're consistently late. You kind of see what I'm saying? So, pay more attention to it. Try to predict a little bit. Practice predicting a little bit more. The other thing with trigger discipline as well, don't rush your stickies either. This is bad. This is embarrassing. That needs to hit. Drop it. Drop it. Probably wouldn't use stickies in a fortified Orisa at that HP. Nice. It's fine. You're playing well. You're getting good value. Just could be doing better. Okay. I mean, this is all fine and stuff. Like, I don't actually have a problem with this because you're doing a good job kind of gatekeeping the DPS. But if you ever felt like if you ever feel like I can't control these guys to keep shooting me, then there would be nothing wrong with just holding a short angle and spamming Orisa, making these guys walk forward, and then going for your dive bomb once they're closer. It's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier, where you don't have to force the engagement, you know? You don't, if it's an unfavorable matchup at an unfavorable range, find value elsewhere, even if it's just spamming on main and taking a flank later. It's totally fine to do that. Like, this is fine. Again, late on the beam. Did you see that? Maybe you thought that you didn't need beam, in which case that's fine, but yeah. Nice. Okay, so I assume you guys cap this. Let's watch 1 or 2 more fights, then we'll move on. Do you have any questions, Old Fish Toast? I think for the most part, a little bit of the finding value through spamming, even into non-spam comps on the tank, so that you can take later flanks. A little bit of trigger discipline, a little bit of your beam estimation. And also trying to set up an angle to get your copy whenever you can. If it's used to save your life because you messed up, it's fine. But if you have a set play, do try to take an angle. Because, like, here's the thing. You're like here. You could just sit here and spam run. I mean, really, truly, you do not need to go dive these guys yet. You can later. You will be able to later, but you don't need to. You could sit here and you could spam and spam and spam and spam and spam and spam. Make these guys rotate to help or find a different off angle, make them come forward, and then immediately dive bomb them on the angle. You got options here, you know? And then you see it, right? Like they get restless because they're holding an angle that's not actually doing anything. You can either tail them on the flank here, or you could just keep holding the choke and keep spamming them out. I think this is okay. It's kind of cheeky. And notice that when you dive bombed here, check, this is very important. Notice that when we dive bomb that we're not flying in the middle of them. We're actually back on the periphery again. You kind of see we're on the outside looking in. Not by a lot, by a little bit. That's an important distinction. Very nice. This is beautiful. I mean, this is cooked. You're absolutely... I'll let it play just in case you get another highlight for us. Yeah, I'm glad I let it play. You're cooking. You're absolutely cooking. Great positioning. Great target choice of positioning there. That engagement was a lot closer with what we want from you.
Back to being able to spam dad jokes in chat.
Woo, Varashi? Yeah, I was a flanking Moira. Oh yeah, I was trolling yesterday. The reason I was a flanking Moira is I needed footage for a video I'm making. I was out of control. It was terrible though. My movement was awful. I'm pretty sure I died to a soldier 1v1 as a flank Moira like 3 times. It was embarrassing. Again, do you see like this is forced? This is forced. No, not TikToks. It's for another video. It's a collaboration, coincidentally, with the best Moira in the world. The best Moira in the world. I'm doing a video with it. It should be done hopefully by the end of this week. Okay. Again, you're forcing it here, right? This Cassidy is not super close, so you know you could throw crap his way, I guess, but really just shoot the tank, force her back, and then again take the angle so that allows you. The problem is that you could earn much better flanks if you were a little bit more patient. No, not Shark Candy, no. Shark Candy is not the best Moira. Okay, I say that as you just absolutely dominate. Okay. You guys don't know who the best Moira is? Even I knew that before I reached out to him. Nice. That's okay. A little bit out in the open, though. I just still feel like, oh my days, you could be winning this tank war, or at least force her back and then utilize this side of the map. It'd feel so much better. No. How do you guys not know? Guys, it's the only Moira who's hit, to my knowledge, has hit 4.6k consistently. It's the only Moira that's hit rank 1 on the support ladder. And it's the only Moira that's actually played profession, that competes professionally in contenders. Oh, and that's GG's right there. Okay. Okay, so... Old Fish Toast, let's make it bullet point list before we get into everything. Bullet point list, Echo. Versus these spam comps, dive is the goal, but it's okay to spam tank frontline to force rotations, movements, to open up flanks later. A little bit of an esoteric concept, but I hope through the examples that we've given in the map, you understand it's more about find frontline pressure so that then I can take the angles in the back line better. It's Nolan. It's Nolan. Yeah, it's Nolan. It's literally Nolan. It could, yeah. Second thing is better practice estimation with beam HP so you can use it faster. Will be trial and error. Trigger discipline with M1. When possible, a set play. Try to set up copy on an angle and not in the middle of the enemy. Do you have any questions, Old Fish Toast? Who said? One person said Nolan, maybe. It only took you like 6 years to say Nolan. Yeah, bolts. Yeah. Okay, do you have any questions, Old Fish Toast? I don't like Moira. Yeah. Dude, people were freaking on the stupid thing. They're like, nah, you need to be doing the Moira thing. People need to talk about reworking Moira. And I was like, in due time, I'm doing DPS first. Daddy, chill. Ugh. All right. Let's go and make our tweet here. Starting now. Let's go. Link in replies because, you know. I wonder if that's still a thing where they used to say that, like, you know, they don't promote as much if there's a, you know, a link in the thing. I'm gonna feel like a total moron if that was never like actually a thing and I'm just stupid. The stupid thing goes without saying, but you know, actually plug it on YouTube as well. Why not? Overwatch 1 DPS hero rework discussion. Come help. And yeah, there is a lot of responses that I got. A little more than I anticipated. The tweet kind of did a little bit of a blow up thing, so that's good. But it will mean that we'll have a lot to talk about. Have ERA nerfs been announced? The second round of nerfs, I don't think so. Slay Queen and Daddy Chill. Oh no, but those are still in the ironic category. Best support here to rank up in medal ranks right now, the support that you enjoy playing the most. That's always going to be the answer. Fastest support, probably not Iari, probably not Brig. Oh, I completely missed a question. So when I flew over the roof in that last fight, I did it not to die, but to like scout. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Of course. Yeah. I think Iari is gonna be quite hard for a lot of low to mid ranks because she is like very DPS oriented. It always starts as irony and then you're ooh. Yeah. See, that's why I have to be. That's why I'm so antagonistic. I can't let the pollution like get inside me. Otherwise it's too late, you know. I have the mental fortitude to fight it off, you know. Iari not going to be a carry? No, I mean the thing with Iari is it's just she's very unintuitive. Let's put it that way. Whether she's strong, whether she's nerfed, she's very unintuitive, and unintuitive tanks, DPS, and supports generally struggle and lower elos. Okay, so let's talk about the rework seminar. So this is what we've got. Let me get my juicer up here. I freaking hate Epic Pen. I had to redo my license and everything. I literally dreamed that I got my old Epic Pen back. That's how pathetic I am. Okay, so here's the deal. I made an announcement. Not whatever that is. I made an announcement. We're going to do live on Twitch, going to reworks, buffs, and nerfs, and any changes to make to some of the more difficult to balance DPS heroes in Overwatch. I need your help. It's fine. So basically, I created a channel on super slow mode to discuss, get feedback from people on Bastion, Junkrat, Pharah, Reaper, Sombra, Torbjorn. Now, a lot of people were like, why not Hanzo or Cassidy and Widowmaker? And I think that those are fair questions, but I had to prioritize because otherwise we'd be here all day. And I also tried to go with heroes that you could argue have something fundamental wrong with them or may not age as well. Now, Reaper, I would say, is maybe the odd man out there. But yeah. Yo, what's up, Stefano? So I think this might be tough. Now, I know a lot about like people like Widowmaker's fundamentally imbalanced, Hanzo's fundamentally imbalanced, one-shot hero. I get that. I think things like people still don't like Symmetra sometimes, Cassidy Grenade, but something like Cassidy, like I think Cassidy's fine. I just don't think his nade is fun to play versus. So I think it's for Cassidy, it's more of a smaller tweak than it is anything else. And so I wanted to choose my battles. Now, let me give you guys a quick disclaimer. There is going to be, actually, I should put this in the Twitch thing as well. Let me put, I want to add a bias command. Because I have a very, although I can't even see my own thing. This is a boomer trying to function. I have a very clear bias with the way that I want to do these things. Add command bias. This is this is my personal aim, personal philosophy of making all heroes more viable while also increasing the quality of the skill curve. Subjective, but it's my aim for this. So, I mean, basically there's your TLDR right there, is that like, I want, you know, we talked about, I know there's gonna be people that disagree with me that it's okay to have low skill heroes be low skill. Today's discussion will be assuming that's not the goal, but that's just my opinion. Right? Now, I like to think that my opinion is somewhat educated, and in just a second, I'm going to defend that opinion, but it doesn't mean that some of the ideas in here that are objectively bad or good just because they don't fit my aim. That's the honesty here, okay? So, like, I'm just going to be honest with you guys that this is what I'm looking for, but I don't work for Blizzard here, right? And nor is there any objective truth of this. So, here's the deal. I want Bastion, Junkrat, Pharah, Reaper, Sombra, Torbjorn, if not to be Tracer on a Winston level return on investment, to approach that level of return on investment where you put more time into the heroes, and whether it's from a mechanical standpoint, from a decision-making standpoint, cooldown, game sense, whatever, you get rewarded more out of your investment. On the flip side, I want those characters to not get as much value out of just pressing click or select on console, out of choosing the character, where a lot of value out of Torbjorn is passive or spam oriented, right? A lot of value out of Reaper is just standing frontline shooting. A lot of value out of Pharah, just standing and shooting. And now some of these characters, even though they're a little bit higher skill, like I think Pharah at a higher level, Sombra at a higher level, very difficult to play, but are extremely frustrating to play against and are like actively hurt game quality. And I think you could probably argue a hero like Widowmaker falls into that category as well. We just don't have her on for here, okay? I don't want people to think a hero like Sombra and Bastion belong in the same category, because they don't. I don't want people to think heroes like Junkrat and Pharah fall into the same category, because they don't. Pharah is a higher skill ceiling hero that is a lot more mechanical expression than Junkrat. And even Junkrat does have mechanical expression, but just not quite enough, okay? Discord link doesn't work? Man, okay, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I'm gonna get all this situated here. I apologize for the confusion. I think what ended up happening is that we don't have the same level of endorsement in the Discord. So we had a custom command that is now MIA. Am I going to do this again? Yes, I'd like to do this again. I'd like to do this for the supports, tanks, and I think there's probably a couple other DPS that we could do as well. Okay, so all that being said, healthy skill curve, characters that don't just, you pick them, you win. Characters that also have maybe more of a fun or engaging skill expression. Now, I know a lot of people that like Pharah in her current state, but Pharah is a very unpopular hero. I know a lot of people that like Junkrat in his current state, but Junkrat's a very unpopular hero. So you're going to make people upset that like the hero in his current state. That is unavoidable, but you got to break some eggs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, same thing with Mercy, right? But regardless, okay. What hero do we want to start with? What? Okay, let's start with a chat, because I'm going to be using the poll tool in Twitch heavily. We're going to be doing a lot of polling here, so stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing a lot of votes here. Poll. What hero? Bastion. Don't even type yet. I'm going to set up a poll. Reaper, Pharah. Oh shoot, we're out of. There's only so many votes we can do. Okay, let's just remove Torb from the list. We'll do Torb later. 60-second poll. Vote. Vote. Do you think that a lot of the ways the deepest DB change depend on their time to kill or speed at which they play? I don't think so. I think for some characters that might be the play. You are voting. Which hero do we start with? Which hero do we start with? What hero do we start with? Sorry, I didn't clarify. That's not y'all's fault. That's my bad. What hero do we start with? We're going to try and get through all of them. Do you have any thoughts on what you expect for the upcoming Sombra week? I honestly don't. I think it will likely be something to do with Invisible Stealth and Translocator. That would be my expectation. Now, the last disclaimer I will give before we actually start, looks like we're starting with Pharah. The last disclaimer, and we'll do Sombra next. We'll go in order. The last disclaimer I will give is, this is just snowballing, or just like snowballing? No. What is it called? Like shooting ideas? What's the term? Why am I blanking here? This is just like spitballing. Sorry, snowballing. Ideas. Because I feel like some of these heroes don't have enough ideas. So this isn't, even if we go through all the Sombra and Pharah suggestions, we probably aren't even going to come up with the best ones. We're just getting ideas. So I'm not saying this is how you fix Sombra, do this, right? That is not at all. We're just getting ideas. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through and I'm going to check mark every idea that, or thumbs up, or check mark every idea that we have gone through. And then I'm going to either thumbs up or thumbs down the ones I like, the ones I don't like. Okay? Let's start with Sombra, or Pharah, excuse me. Balance Pharah is to delete Rework Mercy. So let's check mark this one. We've done this one. And then buff Pharah in some way for compensation. Maybe move speed. She literally cannot be properly balanced when Mercy still exists in the way that she does. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think Pharah is fundamentally impossible to balance as long as Mercy exists in terms of the pocket, the DPS existence? I think, okay, remember, we're gonna have to say this as a yes or a no, even though there's gonna be nuance to it. I agree with the sentiment. I don't think that's the only thing Pharah needs. I think having infinite flying character is part of the reason why she demands the Mercy pocket, as opposed to other characters that benefit immensely from the Mercy pocket. But for example, Echo doesn't demand a Mercy pocket like Pharah does. Soldier, Ashe, you can function without a Mercy pocket. So I agree, yes, but that's not all, folks. That's kind of what I'm saying. And you guys can react to this as well. Let's just thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys can join in the discussion here. Okay. Pharah, buff Concussive Mine heavily, especially when used on yourself. Nerf rocket damage. And also increase movement speed when hovering. So this is basically, we're going to have to go back to this one for the other characters. But basically it's talking about, let me actually make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Basically buff the conch, nerf the damage, but increase movement speed. What do you guys think? So basically increasing movement speed. I think this is the right direction. I don't know, you'd have to address the ability to fly. Ooh, Alpha, that's a cute one. Alpha, if you don't have that idea dropped in here, drop it in here. It's interesting. What should we put when it's like, eh? What do you guys think? When it's middle of the road. Shrug. It's okay. We'll do shrug for now. I think at least without looking at the rest of the post, we'll get to there. Okay. Oh, Geo, the Pharah main. As a Pharah main with over 750 hours here, some separate days, the code amount Pharah. Give her ult the full damage it used to when the ult was 3 seconds long instead of 2.5. Okay. Barrage, 50 extra over health during barrage. Interesting idea. Concussive blast. Ability cooldown is reset after an elimination on enemy, similar to Genji's dash. Pharah has a control ability that allows her to drop to the ground much faster, like Lucio can lose in Lucio Ball. So, here's my problem with these changes. They're good ideas, but they're all buffs. They're just all buffs. And I think okay, so here, tell me what you guys think. This is my goal with Pharah. I think the problem with Pharah is that she is not able to go play by herself enough because she's too slow. And so she ends up being basically either a oppressive spam character or an oppressive 2v1 character that feels almost incapable of playing with. I don't think I love this idea. I think, here's what I would say. Some of these ideas have promise if we can like deal with some of her, like the overhealth and barrage, the ability to reset and concussive blast, having her dropping to the ground faster. But like these are interesting ideas. Like, but like as a combination, I think it might be. My whole thing is I would love if Pharah had like more of a non-permanent vertical mobility, like up and down, and kind of like, you know how like Echo was like, she kind of like not like Echo, but like okay, you know, Pharah is like one of the characters that actually provoked me into making this, because somebody talked about like, was it Soldier in TF2? Soldier in TF2, right? Where it was like selective vertical horizontal mobility. That's kind of what I feel like would make her a lot more engaging. Reward direct hits, nerf splash, don't let her hover and fly permanently. Like Quake. Yeah. That is not only a less frustrating thing to play versus, but that also lines up with the Overwatch 2 mobility creep. In terms of like much more dynamic, much more like Sojourn, much more like Iari, much more like Kiriko in terms of how they move. That's kind of what I'm going for. Like what if you replaced Junkrat with Pharah in terms of Pharah didn't take her own splash damage, but used them to move around, and she got rewarded a lot less for splash, but rewarded the same for directs, and had more horizontal vertical mobility. Yeah, something to consider. You could even increase her like ammo clip. Something like that. Pharah, be able to move when ulting, but it's less accurate. I'm actually going to leave this one for now. I'm not going to check mark. That one's too small of a detail, so I'm not going to respond to it. Delete Pharah. I'm going to remove these just because it's going to be less clutter in here. Okay. This may not be the most efficient way, but I want to stay like on topic if that's possible. Pharah makes barrage cancelable. If you feel like when you use barrage, you either die or use it, but have to sit AFK for the rest of ult. I actually don't think this is too bad of a quality of a life thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Wait, I did? Wait, where did I miss the Pharah thing? Oh, I see. Pharah, something in the direction of reducing her flight up time, increasing movement speed while using fuel, allow her to press crouch to drop faster. I mean, I think this is exactly what we were looking for, right? So I don't know about the rest of your tips, but for the Pharah, I'm okay with that. Now, what you guys gonna do? You guys are gonna farm impressions. You're gonna go back and edit all your posts and do something that I like. Pharah makes barrage cancelable. I feel like this is interesting. The whole idea. Yo, what's up, Rex? Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's worth a shot. Pharah, stop having a lesbian crush on Mercy, no longer be pocketed by her. Okay. Right. Pharah, health will change. 100 to 125. Ooh, what guys? Ooh. See, I didn't even think about the shields. Now, I don't know if I give her 125 shields. But giving her shields is immediately a quality of life change for more self-sufficiency. So I don't like the amount of shields. But I think this is the direction we want to go, right? I like a little bit more of the self-sufficiency. Which lines up where if we're going to take away her mercy, then we need, and take away some of her mobility, then we need to give her a little bit of sustain. Right. Damage 40 direct, 80 splash to 60. So splash is reduced. No longer deals damage to Pharah. Projectile speed increased. That's a good one. Yo. Wait, headshot direct? Let's go! Headshot rockets! Woo! Concussive blast, damage increase, cooldown reduced, barrage cancelable. Cover yourself with a barrier to block incoming damage. Shield health. I don't know if I know. I would have to think. I would have to think more about the secondary ability. I think you need to test this one more. However, I do think this has a lot of potential. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of things in this that could be broken, but it's at least something that's worth testing. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's worth testing. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking like this will fix Pharah, but this feels like something that would be very interesting to test with Pharah. It might be broken. It might be super weak. That's not what we're looking for. We're not necessarily looking for like power. We're looking for the theory spirit of the hero. Does that make any sense? Because you guys are freaking out like, you know, like, oh, this is gonna buff Pharah. I mean, maybe, but that's not the problem here. A buffed Pharah is not as much of a problem if this is what it looks like, and we can tweak these numbers. Like, obviously, I think the shields is overblown. That's the point. Like, we need to stop being like, oh, these numbers are too big. Numbers, you can change numbers, guys. The identity of the hero, right? Health at 215 with 25 armor. Make them work similar to ARA's movement, allowing you to use them vertically, horizontally, or a mixture of the two, depending on a small delay for the activate the Pharah's mobility without removing your need to position on cover. Remove concussive blast. She doesn't need the horizontal mobility anymore, and therefore use cases. Add point defense. Pharah fires a blast of shrapnel out of her arm cannon. This destroys any bullet projectile coming towards her for like 0.3 seconds. Small damage to close enemies like Mantis, the parry of swords. Remove the splash damage, increase the projectile speed, fire rate a small amount, and magazine size to 8. Make it take it to extreme. Pharah becomes reliant on hitting her shots. Screenplay now activates the old, gives Pharah infinite flight, allows her to move, replenish her armor, replaces her primary fire with rockets from the old up with drastically lower damage. So basically, she goes back to old Pharah. Infinite flight allows her to move. It's basically a transformation ultimate. This looks cool. These are good ideas, guys. I'm not smart enough to come up with these ideas. This is definitely worth testing. Post the ideas in Discord. It's on super slow mode. So you drop them in here and edit your post if you need to. What do you guys think? I think this is good. Pharah, increase impact damage, decrease splash damage. Decrease splash damage radius, decrease projectile radius, increase projectile speed, make her 175 HP. Ooh. If she hard counters most DPS at players with the mercy, she'd be hard countered by hit scan heroes, and that Pharah's actually have to use cover. The sky's not cover. See, I don't like this idea because it's assuming that Pharah stays in her current state. Now, it makes sense in her current state, but I'm not saying this is a bad idea in her current state. I'm just saying that like we're being idealistic, right? I understand, guys, that I'm not expecting these things to happen, sadly, but at least we feel like if Overwatch or Blizzard is to say something, then this is we can say that we did it, right? And honestly, I think it's kind of fun. Right, but it's not a directional change. Right, exactly. It's a balanced tweak. Some characters in the list, I think, don't necessarily need a total revamp. Right, I don't think Reaper necessarily needs a total rework. We just need some tweaks or some more spice thrown in there. Pharah, it would be interesting to see the effect of these changes. Increase fuel usage or slow down fuel regen when Mercy is attached. Decrease the max height of jets when Mercy is attached. Slightly increase self-damage when Mercy is attached. 30% damage reverse of only active. Ult charge reduced by 40% when Mercy is attached. Screen brightness reduced by 50% when Mercy is attached. Oh man. I mean, this is not. These are. I think maybe I could have clarified this more in the initial post. So this is not, again, I'm not tweaking at these ideas. It's not exactly what we were looking for. That's all. Alrighty. Pharah, control in the air to make her fall a bit faster, while holding control fuel does not regenerate. You have to take a for the sub, mate. Surely.
Is going to invent
Surely.
With such balance.
Maybe. While using fuel or pressing control Pharah is easier to hear. Maybe, yeah, I get that. Barrage gains 50 over health. Yeah, so this will kind of fall somewhere in between where, like, again, it's not really adjusting the situation. So I'm gonna give it thumbs down for now. I give it a shrug. I give it a shrug. It is what it is. Let's just put it that way. New passive, goofy name. Remove doesn't take self damage from rockets. Give her more height from shooting rockets at her feet. Boost shorter cooldown by half the height. Remove Kong for Genji. Yeah, I mean this is closer to what we were looking for, right? So is it as good as some of the other suggestions? Maybe not quite, but it's a direction that we were kind of wanting to go. Here's what I'm gonna do. I think this. I don't really know what I wanted to do with this, but I'm thinking the more I'm reading these, the more I feel like we should up the speed and just zoom through these ideas unless they present something new. What do you guys think? Maximum fuel increased. I'm not gonna thumbs up or thumbs down anymore. More directional change. Thanks, Pharah. Basically upgrading your next Pharah next rocket. I don't love this. This makes her even stronger in the air. Maybe I need to go back here. I'm skipping too far ahead. I'm an idiot. See, I kind of disagree. Spamming and grounded playstyle is not the problem with Pharah. I think it's the opposite here. Yeah, see, these are pretty significant Pharah buffs. I like the spirit of these changes. I'm not sure I like the changes themselves, though. Yeah. No suggestions from Stefano and Pharah. Let's keep going. Health pool redistributed to more shield. Hover jets, movement speed increased. Fuel reduced by 20%. Direct damage increased. Barrage damage per second reduced. Broad movement speed penalty removed. You're not totally immobile. You're just slower down. Sure. I mean, nothing crazy here. Like I said, I just want to keep moving here. Forward, sorry, I think Nothing super crazy with the Pharah. I skipped it. Just go ahead and miss Santa. Okay. I'm not seeing it. Give me a second. I don't even see you in the Discord. It's in a thread though, not a message. Oh. Where? You gotta direct me where to go here though. Is it this one? Ah, thank you. Got it, thank you. Pharah, increased self-damage for rockets. Rocket jumping is extremely beneficial. And Pharah means are both dishonorable and ethical, so they deserve that tech. Increase fragile requirement. Lower the splash damage rates. Yeah, I mean, it's a little harsh. I still feel like there are other ideas to work with. Thanks for the ping, though. Sorry, I missed it. Let's keep going here. Controlling the air to make her okay, let's keep going here. I know I'm gonna miss some people's ideas here. Fires a missile that upon impact sets the ground ablaze, burning enemies in the area. If an enemy is directly hit with the missile, they continue to burn for the full duration, as opposed to after leaving the AoE. Also slightly pushes the fire backwards like Coach Gun. Projectile speed, same as rocket launcher, radius 5 meters. Burn damage 30 DPS, duration 4 seconds, cooldown 9 seconds. Interesting. I like the idea of giving her another ability. I just don't. Jump jet removed. My problem is that I almost feel like if anything, her flight should be gone, not the jump jet, and the jump jet should be weaker. You know, because Yazan is right. Fires a small missile from a wrist. They are slowed for 40%. Also pushes far back slightly the same way. So it's basically exothermic, endothermic. It's like the energy, cool or heat, right? I like some of these. I like the fact of giving her another. I don't know if I would. This probably needs to be tweaked. But there are some good ideas here. I think. I just don't know. Right. Bash Junkrat tire, break the glass. Pharah, replace 50 HP with shield health, make barrage mover backwards. Oh my days. All right. Well, we'll try. I'm not gonna give this one everything as much, but I have to, have to move from here. Our jets increased. Ooh, fall off on the rockets. That's an idea we haven't seen elsewhere. Interesting. What do you guys think about the fall off with the rockets? Direct hit explosion damage does not experience this fall off. Ooh. See, I'm looking for new ideas here. So if I skip over your idea, it doesn't mean that your ideas are bad. It's just that we've already seen it before. So you might have been the first one to come up with it. It is what it is. I think this has some new ideas. I think this has some new ideas. Yeah, like it. The rocket change was definitely interesting. Definitely something to consider. Pharah rework. Exact numbers are just placeholders. Yeah, that's totally fine. Obviously, we talked about that earlier. And Quake elements. Okay, so we're on this agreement here. Okay. Starting with the ultimate is first, since it's unique by taking some tech from other and augmented suit. This will be incredibly quick charging ultimate, at least double pulse bomb. Whoa. Which will augment the rest of our abilities in a kit which you choose. Hitting Q will prime the ability, and then using the ability will activate its special effect. Okay, yo, that's tight, man. Yo, check this out. Her ability boost, it's an ability boost. So you press Q, and the next thing that you press afterward is the ability that you augment. Right? So you press Q, then you press your this cooldown or that cooldown. That's totally unique. We don't have anything like that in Overwatch. But whatever you press afterwards, yes, it's a mini ultimate that you spam. All right? Our primary fire will stay largely the same, but have slightly faster rate of fire and do 50 impact and 30 explosion damage total to 80. So basically lower the damage. Ability boost and then fire rocket launcher means that the impact damage is increased to 100 and the explosion damage will stay the same. Ability boost only applies to one rocket. So basically you boost your rocket to do 130 damage instead of 80. Yeah? So it's basically like a slightly doubles your next rocket's damage. So I guess assuming the ability boost animation is super fat, like instantaneous and can be canceled or chained, then it would be like a really good 1v1 tool. Like you get on top of somebody, you need that 50 damage, you press the Q. Okay, interesting. Stim pack. Far as some of them have been one for a soldier for a while. Far as jetpack is permanently broken. Oh no, she must find another way to get around. Farah injects her suit with extra engine gains a 50% momentum increase for 4 seconds. It's not just running momentum from all sources. It's cool in 60 seconds. So basically just move in any direction with more momentum. Okay. An activation, Farah will also heal herself for 25 HP instantly, and then additional 25 over the duration of the ability. If you decide to ult and refresh the cooldown while the ability is still going, you'll receive an additive effect while the two instances of it. For example, you step back at 50%, and one less you use the ability to have 100%. Really interesting. Really interesting. It would feel really bad to miss that super rocket, yeah. This is pretty complex, though, I will say, yeah. We're sort of this Bastion we're very similar, but it can also send in vertical directions. She'll be able to have 2 stored at once. All knockbacks increase by 50%. Direct hits increase the knockback by 100%. This might be a little bit broken. A direct hit conk on a tank would probably be, with an ability boost, would probably cause a lot of tears with how much disruption it could place, but it's an interesting idea. Passive hover jets, long as you height, will only slow your fall. They do not affect, cannot be boosted. Quick melee, can be ability to do 50 splash. Yeah, okay, like, you know, we could talk about numbers and tweaks here and there, but I like the whole ability boost ultimate idea. You know, that would actually be a really cool ultimate, even not for Pharah, but like a future hero, where like the ability, you have the ability to like do little micro boosts for every cooldown that you have. Complex, but interesting. Finicky, yes, 100%. Interesting, yes, 100%. Nothing super new here. Roofer fuel entirely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. I don't think necessarily a bad idea. New ability bound to crouch. Yeah. Whoops. Give her 50 shield health, 2 concussive blasts, remove or reduce self-damage from rockets, reduce rocket to 110. No 1H KO on Tracer. Interesting, yeah. Like I said, I'm just focusing on new ideas here. Nothing new there. Touching the ground. It's cooldown expires. Nothing huge here. Current ult, Death Cry. Remember ults. As far as ult, it was much shorter charge time and actually get several seconds of boosted free flight movement during this time. So basically, like we talked about Valkyrie, with a single salvo of rockets to bombard one area. Interesting. Almost like Iari's ult, basically. Like you just pull the trigger, you know, for your volley here. Huh? You can right click the post to check where. Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, look at you, bless you. Splash damage, fire rate, projectile speed. You can now move while casting it. Yeah. So window of opportunity to stay suspended. She's a menace. For that, increase the strength of self knockback. No longer self damages Pharah. Now his damage fall off. Again, the fall off idea, I like that. Sure. If Pharah obtains an elimination override, she can cancel the rest of the ability duration pressing ultimate button again. Okay, interesting. Oh. Okay. Goes are wild. For Pharah, you should make your rockets unaffected by damage boost. Yeah. Okay, we talked about that already. Junkrat. Pharah. As if some kind of nerf change to damage boost. So that's basically assuming that. Fall off. Okay. Pharah nerf damage too. Optimus Prime. What is going on? Melee replaced with barrel roll. Now spins and does a barrel roll like in Star Fox. That would be wild. Only regains fuel on the ground. Okay. Greatly reduced splash damage. Add other flying characters to the game that can hold and contest for a Glenn. The same if it is amazing. Interesting, interesting. Far her right click to be more like yeah, how's adjusting barrage to carry her momentum? I'm not sure. Rework her right click to be more like Genji dash. Make it a burst of momentum laterally that results in landing. Increase her shift height, more movement in the window, but no hitting on the air. Rework her ultimate constantly against guys. Yeah, sure. Remove the footwear on her skins. A pull mechanic with Pharah would be interesting. Possibly broken, but 3 times health plus file plays, 3 times damage plus file plays. Dude, you had me until this stupid crap here, man. Get lost. Heavier the more ammo she has. That would be hilarious. Yes, I also enjoy civil typing. Speed up her rocket fire rate, hitting drag bullets. Hitting directs builds up a meter. When it's full, you can fire your whole mag of rockets in a mini barrage as a secondary fire. Interesting. That's unique. Remove new ability, Chaff. Chaff disables lock-on from all locking abilities shooting out of a cloud of sparkling metals that is smaller triggered on. Cast ult, nade visor, window visor. Widow visor, sonic arrow could potentially disable friendly lock into concept like mercy rings. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Shoots a bunch of rockets in a barrage really quickly that embed the ground and can explode and proxy enemies or explode and impact almost like a hammer. Interesting, interesting. Make her a flying tracer, jump jets, replace the short jets, moving in any direction. However, she becomes more evasive. Right. Okay, so you can reduce her HP. Stop! Stop! I looked down. It's the first. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's wrap this up in just a second here. Hover jets. Only working 3 will now go with it. Okay, jump to speed direction. Mercy deleted. You guys are hilarious. Okay, let's stop there. Chaff. Okay, guys. Main takeaways, maybe some fall off for Pharah. I think definitely rewarding directs more, nerfing splash more, maybe less hovering flying through the air. I think the Valkyrie Pharah as an ultimate was cool. Some extra secondary ability, having her more like a soldier in TF2 Quake style movement. Stop it, Snacky. Yeah, I think there's more shields. Obviously, assuming that Mercy as well gets removed. These all seem good. These all seem good. These all seem good. As soon as I'm done with mine. No. Wait. Did we do this one? Oh, okay, well, fine. We'll do yours. This is the last one. 9 rockets. Fire 3 rockets in a vertical pattern. No splash damage. Less damage off from more. A lot of fall off at range. 2 charges of jump jet, faster jetpack, conquerors, old, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it seems okay. So I think that's my main takeaways. You guys want to move on to Sombra? Oh, the ability boost as well, yeah. I'm more of a fan of that idea with or without Pharah, to be honest with you. I think that would be a cool idea to just do like a different hero, you know? But yeah. Okay. Sombra time. You guys ready for Sombra? Everybody, now Sombra is one of those characters that's like, it's not that she's easy to play, although you can argue that like hack on some situations is kind of too easy to get value out of, but the whole character is actually very difficult to play, even at the highest level. It's not just the team coordination. I think that's like what people always blame it on, but like even without team like it's just understanding like how to adjust your play style from like front line, back line, sideline, how to use your hack, who to hack, should you be hacking health backs, where should you be putting a translocator. Even the mechanical aspect of it is quite difficult. So I am of the opinion that there are certain aspects of Sombra that are fundamentally unbalanced. I don't like using that term very much. And I'm not going to say for sure that they are, but I would say more so than other abilities. I think permanent stealth is a very difficult thing to balance around because it either is totally useful or totally useless. Very little in between, very little nuance with that. I do think hack as an ability can be very difficult to balance through that as well. Now, I know also that Blizzard is looking at translocator. We know that. They've said that. So that as a guarantee get out of jail free card is definitely can be problematic as well. I can see the idea that like I can always be here and know that I will never die because I can always get out. That can make parts of Sombra kind of tricky. So I think maybe infinite stealth and maybe translocator are things that we look at. Hack is a lot better than it used to be. Functioning as a damage boost and scouting, tool is a lot more tolerable in Overwatch 2. As frustrating as Sombra is in Overwatch 2, she is leagues better than she was in Overwatch 1 in terms of playing versus. So yeah, I think with Sombra, it's less about what we want to change with the hero, besides maybe perma-stealth translocator, and more of I don't know what we want to do. I need y'all to provide some suggestions. I'll know it when I see it, kind of a thing. Maybe. Really just buffer damage so she's way more than just an Ultra Assassin and completely remove the hack canceling ability so all it does is give damage and hack health packs. Okay. Some of you guys put a lot of effort into your Sombra stuff, so I'm going to kind of skim through these until I see a more of a high effort one. Hack is no longer triggered on hack and now requires a translocator to trigger the hack effect. Oh, so you translocate to trigger the hack? Interesting. Wait, how do I do is it the shift click? Or right click? Oh, right click. Okay, Sombra. Unsuccessful hack attempts put hack on full cooldown. I will say that one is really annoying, where you juke the hack, but she doesn't lose it, right? That is annoying. Hack targets that are EMP do not have their abilities locked out in EMP, but the rest still applies. Damage from EMP, hack duration refresh. Damage on EMP lowered from 40% to 25%. Lowered move speed and stuff. This would butcher EMP, to be honest with you. So there's going to need some buffs elsewhere. Damage on EMP lowered, lowered movement speed and stealth. These are major nerfs. Hack targets also received 27% damage from all sources. Ooh. Extra decaying movement speed boost after using Translocator. I'm not as much of a fan of these personally. I think like they definitely deal with some issues, but they could also bring in more issues, and they don't really make her more enjoyable to play as much. I'm not as much of a fan. Yeah, it's not just the damage source. It's like I don't feel like it'd be as fun, like lowering a lot, heavily punishing movement speed, and whether after using Translocator or after using stealth, that's going to feel bad. Yeah, I understand the reasoning behind this, but I'm not as much of a fan. Unsuccessful hacks double the hack cooldown. EMP is a lot more clear. Again, nothing that really deals with this situation. Remove permanent invis and put it back on a timer. Reduce spread in her gun. Remove ability lockout from hack, but make a damage boost for all teammates. Again, you need to be very careful about this. Make hack slower out of stealth, but faster in stealth. Give TP time and or distance limit. EMP gets damage reduced or removed, but temporary lockout still works. Basically make it so she can't stage dives for free. Encourage higher upstyle. Apply modern and counterplay more punch her about. It's alright. It's alright. It's nothing has really blown me away just yet. I think temporary timer on stealth is fine, but that's not exactly a hot take here. Now I'm not critiquing this too much, because if I had suggestions of my own, I would have to put a lot more thought into it. I'm a critic here. I'm throwing stones at something that I've not even tried to throw stones at, you know. Sombra, roll from damage from support. I just don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe there's some ideas in here that we could steal. Max duration, movement buff. Whoa, she moves really fast. I don't like this. This is increasing her movement speed by this much and reducing the cooldown is a major, like, overall this feels like this is a major buff to her stealth. This is a major buff to her stealth. I don't think this is the right way to go. Invulnerability increased from 0.4 to 1 whole second. Now heals. Translocator is now accessible to allies. Now it's true Translocators. The small man with the health potion Translocate want to. You need to confirm first. To confirm is reload or reload again. Remember, it will destroy anybody. So when 2 Translocators are down, clicking ability will scroll the menu, and you can pick the Translocator that you want to destroy or teleport. Access to use a Translocate when saying directly on the Translocate teleport then the other. It's not. I don't think it's gonna work. Again, I would have to see it in action, but feels a little bit heavy-handed. Oh yeah, nice coffee pasta, Sal. Dude, that was trippy, man. That was. I was like, what is Neo posting in announcements? And I was like, oh. I can't use abilities longer, but have the damage buff removed. I disagree. I think the damage buff from personally is okay-ish, but the ability lockout is what we don't want to go back to. I don't want to go back to the ability lockout. Ability lockout is just awful. It's even worse for tanks. Roll swap to support. And no, can now shoot while hacking. Cooldown reduced. Now has 3 charges. Can no longer use hack while invisible. Can now hack teammates. Hacking enemies deals 50 damage. Any abilities cooldowns have those cooldowns increased by 2 seconds. No longer temporarily disables. Hacking teammates. I feel like the hack on the enemy is not going to be worth using. I know we're not like critiquing the numbers as much, but hacking an enemy would be very bad if it didn't have a cooldown lockout. And also, if it doesn't give you the damage boost, it wouldn't be worth doing. Using a hack for 50 damage is, and also it could be interrupted still, like not going to be great. Heals 50 HP, cleanses debuffs, grants 3% ult charge. Any abilities uncool. You're just going to sit in your team and hack them between fights, but then it's not going to actually do much in the middle of a fight. Cooldown reduction could also be like potentially this is like the definition of like interesting ideas, but it's going to be unbelievably gimmicky. It's either going to be totally worthless or it's going to be so gimmicky it's not going to be feel fun playing versus. You're going to have like a Sombra staying behind and just like perma hacking a Ramatra kind of a situation, basically giving him cooldowns over and over and over and over again, and basically like that's kind of like what we're looking at here. I appreciate the effort putting into this, because this is the kind of effort that we need to try and find some ideas, but not as much of a fan. Not as much of a fan of these ideas. Sombra's hard, guys. Top tech malfunction, she got deleted. Okay, Jolly. Holy crap, we're getting more and more posts. Y'all gotta chill. Sombra's hack is without doubt one of the least fun abilities in the game. It isn't particularly satisfying for Sombra player either. She's one of my mains can feel down impressive times they don't know, but combining this issue is invincible without some program. Hack, make Sombra. No, okay. Get rid of the hack being a silence. Instead of silencing the hack target's ability, hack would now strip away any buffs and the like for 5 seconds. This would pretty much any utility buffs that aren't healing, such as Mercy, Blue Beam, Speed Boost, Overhealth, Nano, Zori. But it's a time to make hack feel the problems. They would have full control of the character, but will address a few issues of command ability. Nano Blade. Hack would keep the walls effect, increase cooldown. Okay, let's put it this way. Interesting idea. Very interesting idea. You remove buffs. How useful would it be in theory? Remove Harmony Orb, Mercy, Blue Beam, Nade, Overheal, Speed Boost, Overhealth, Ultimate. The only thing I could see being a problem is if it would strip like a Zarya Bubble or a Nano. That's kind of heavy-handed. Yeah, it does lose a lot of flexibility. I like the idea, though. Yeah, but Harmony's a buff, technically. That's the problem, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Invis a lot simple. Stop timer and buff speed just like Sombra version 1. Get rid of Invis hack, decrease deflected race, and keep the hack while the clipping animation cancel. Remove the damage buff and hack targets entirely. Being relying on applying hack to do damage just feels bad. You know, actually, I do agree with that. That actually is a good point. Is that like having to get the hack off to be able to 1v1 somebody does feel bad. Buff damage. Don't touch Translocators. The ability to give Sombra her skill expression, versatility, and gameplay style. Plenty of other DPS here for escape abilities. Translator tells enemies the direction she's set up in. You know, that is a good point, guys. It's like if we were to touch Translocator, you would need to do something else elsewhere. You would need to give her skill expression elsewhere through some other form of mobility, because it is her mobility, right? Like it is her skill expression. That is a really good point. I don't necessarily agree with the ideas here besides the obvious ones, but this is a good point. And this is also a good point here too, from somebody who actually plays the hero a lot. I mean, knowing when and where to place it is everything, Cyberfish. It's not just simple as throw your Translocator behind a wall. It's everything. Like, and it shifts dramatically upon whether you're assassinating or frontlining or taking an angle or anything like that. When and where is a lot more complicated than you think it is. and even using it dynamically, like, you know, holding it like the Questron thing or putting it more frontline angle, you know. So it's like it, you know, that's the tricky thing with Sombra, is that so much of her skill expression is the part that people don't like. So, you know, this is by far the hardest hero I think we're gonna have to look at. I mean, I think you could make an argument that Mercy would be easier to quote unquote balance a rework than what we're dealing with here. This is rough. Invisible hack now takes some of the hack, 2-second ability, a lockout time. Longer ability lockout time I'm not a fan of. Invis hack takes as long as if you do so. Say something. Yeah, see, this doesn't really address the fundamental issues, you know? I don't have an answer here, but I'm not seeing it here yet either. Are healed 20% slower. So basically a healing debuff. Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is you guys already know where this is going to go. Who is going to get hacked? Who's going to get hacked with this change? You know what I'm saying? Right, it's going to be tanks. And you're not going to be able to helping Sombra's ability to actually duel people. Right? Better frontline presence. I mean, this is not a combo we want to see. You know, more frontline presence, hack reduces healing, and you keep the damage boost. I mean, you're just gonna hack frontline tanks, basically. Yeah. I don't know. Some of these ones are just ideas in one spot. She's too hard to change. Invisibility, you know, I mean, honestly, I mean, invisibility is not passive. I'm not taking damage a certain amount of time. I mean, that's kind of interesting, where you have to earn the invisibility. Translocator TP range only 30 meters. Maybe it could reload or slightly heal. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. I actually like Translocator having a maximum range and a small heal. That's probably the first idea that I feel like I'm really like unique. Because think about it. What's the problem with Translocator, right? It removes you out of a fight, makes you unkillable, right? Which isn't amazing for the Sombra and isn't amazing. What if you reduce the range that you could TP from and it gave it a slight heal to reward you for that? What do you guys think? Jolly, what do you think about this? So it feels more like a real defensive cooldown. Gives you a lot more dynamic how you use it, no? Recall 2.0, kind of. You're aggressive with your Translocator? I mean, then of course that would change, no? I mean, you could honestly even change the like 30 meters is pretty short too. You could do even 25 meters. You could toy with this number and how much the heal actually happens. 50, 60, 70, 30, 80. But you guys are saying, oh, wouldn't change much because most cases you have time to reload after TPing. But you're assuming that Sombra plays in the exact same playstyle of going in, going out, going in, going out. But that's exactly what needs to change. That's exactly what people don't like about Sombra. Not just the fact that she's either in or she's all the way out. Now, as you get better at the hero, you start to kind of learn more of the nuances with that, but it's very unintuitive. You guys see what I'm saying though, right? The problem with Sombra is this, you know, that's her value, right? So if you address perma invisibility and make Translocator more of a Genji dash repositioning tool that can also help sustain you instead of a totally in, totally out, Hmm. I like it as something to test personally. Would you have to increase the cooldown or someone would ping pong to heal? That's too much uptime. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds maybe. Hack lasts much longer, but if she loses the line of sight on a hack target for 1 2 seconds, it goes away, like Discord. Yo, that's loud. Whoops. Rez, thanks for the sub.
I recently got back to AO2 after 2 months.
Cheers, man.
I don't rage anymore at Lost Comp.
There are no scuffs. There are no scuff Sigma mains. Sigma mains are the quiet, calm, controlling the rage. Cheers, mate. I don't know. I don't like the hack lasting longer, the LOS thing. Hack increases summoned by only 10% of this consecution hack more. Maybe. There's an all equals to recharge while the target is hacked. That's kind of rough. That's also kind of rough. I mean, we're just spitballing ideas, right? So this is an interesting one to me. Basically where Sombra's massive clip gets reduced a little bit. So she's better in the duels, but doesn't just hold and spam an angle, maybe? I don't know. This idea right here is an idea I like, I think. I would like to see tested. Right, I agree, Stefano. Am I missing anything here? No, okay. Now it's a resource meter. Taking damage will consume 50% of the meter. Yeah, see, but I think if you take damage while you're in stealth, you should be broken out. I don't like the whole I take damage that reduces the meter. I think you should be busted out. But having it as a resource meter is interesting. It's more in line with like an MMO style of stealth, like an Elder Scrolls Online kind of a thing, where it's like not permanently stealth, but you're kind of like in and out and in and out. It's an interesting idea, I think. You know, would it work in a first-person shooter? Maybe, maybe not, but it's an interesting idea. It would still force you out, just also loses meter. Ah, I see. I see. Now explodes upon activation when hitting enemy and pressing out, deal 6 damage in 3 minutes as a maximum duration. So it's basically like a little mine. It's a little mine, right? It's an interesting idea. I think I like that. I like these are interesting ideas. Cheap damage and completely removes all the skills. Well, maybe. I definitely agree that having some sort of movement is important. Reduce damage per bullet to 7. Okay. Give her more incentive. Well, it's not a TP anymore. That's the thing. Yeah, Joker, I think that's like the safest bet with Sombra, to be honest with you. Wait, where did I miss Sombra? Maybe that was it. I guess there's no Sombra. Oh, it is? No, there's no Sombra. Opportunist. Passive damage bonus reduced from 15 from 20%, negative 10% speed boost while fighting hack targets. Primary fire damage increased. Spread angle reduced. Hack debuff time reduced from 8 seconds to 10. Translocator recovery time reduced from 0.25 from 0.5. Translocator cooldown now replenishes on kill assist. Translocator projectile speed increased. Stealth maximum time reduced to 15 seconds from infinite. Stealth movement increased to 70% from 60. Stealth cooldown increased to 8 seconds from 6. EMP now deals 65% current HP damage to barriers rather than destroying them immediately. EMP ult charge increased by an additional 10%. Sombra ult now gains ult charge immediately after casting EMP. I mean, these are interesting ideas. I maybe the thing with Sombra is that, like, I think removing perma-stealth, making Translocator more interactive in some way, shape, or form, nerfing the damage percent, the multiplicative percentage damage boost, buffing her damage. These are interesting ideas. I think it's probably the safest thing with Sombra. Delete her. If not, Trent's gonna use your random place on the whole map. High risk, high reward. Oh man. Maybe. Not as much of the whole decoy idea. Give TAP a range limit. No range limit for 3 seconds. And you can get 2 charges. Using TP heals you, overheals. Yeah, this, I like this. This is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Yo, Sticks, thanks for the sub, mate. Pilot's mobility for a cheap decoy. I'm going. I don't know. I like this. What do you guys think about this one? This is good. I like this one. I mean, this is a GM Sombra player here. So, what do you guys think? Two TPs, range limit, small heal, can also overheal. I like this. I mean, this is just one aspect of Sombra, but I think it's maybe the hardest one to kind of figure out, right? Because obviously you can just go, hey, reduce hack damage multiplier and remove perma stealth, you know? And you can justify removing perma stealth with this because you don't need perma stealth anymore. I don't even know that hack is the only problem with a hero, because the part of the problem is that is it like, for example, you're coming at this from a Doomfist main, right? One of the problems with playing Doomfist as a Sombra is you don't know where she is, so that it's very hard for her to counter play. So it's the stealth plus hack combo that's the problem. Now you can make an argument that if she misses the initial hack, that she's not allowed to rehack for 3 seconds. You see what I'm saying? So like, imagine if you were able to cancel hack with movement as a Doomfist. So she has to track you or she loses it. And that puts it on a short cooldown. So give this, remove permanent stealth, reduce the damage multiplier, increase her damage, shrink her clip, and maybe give her a small hack punish when is canceled, when the thing is canceled. That seems like, does that not seem reasonable, or am I smoking something? See, this is too long. Let invisible controls go expire like the good old days. For tanks, hack effect decreased from 8 seconds to 4. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, okay, so here goes Stefano. Here goes Stefano. Here's what you go, Stefano. Here's your Doomfist main, ball main solution. The hack damage boost is decreased. I wouldn't say necessarily 4, maybe like 5 or 6, and the ability lockout is reduced to 1 second. If you encourage auto stealth hack, it's easier to interrupt. If you add a punish to the interrupt, manual hack feels really bad. That's true. That's true. So maybe we leave uninterrupted hacks the normal cooldown, even if you whiff it, right? But if we were able to adjust the stealth. Okay, well, chat, it's been painful, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I feel like we're making progress. I feel like we're making progress. Oh, I forgot to. Okay, no, we're good. RC Super Social is more respectful, self-defense. Slightly higher DPS. Add wall climb. I don't think this one's necessary if we get the translocator that Akvod suggested. You know what we should do, guys? Turn into a skill shot projectile like sleep dart, like Stefano was saying. Can't hack health packs anymore. 6-second walkout, 4-second actual hack. Maybe. I'm not against having the whole skill shot with hack. I just think it would need to be rewarded more, not with necessarily more ability lockout, with more damage multiplier, but then how do you balance that, right? Would that not just get spammed on tanks, right? I think this is my only problem with having it become a skill shot, is it's either useless or it's spammable on tanks. Maybe they have like something internal where like it's a lot weaker on tanks, like we talked about earlier. Maybe that's the solution. She wheezes while it fits. Yeah, but maybe you can't hack while you're in invis then. So you would not be able to hack while you're invis here. Let's do this right here. So what do we have for Sombra so far? I'm gonna save this here. Oh, Sombra. Sombra. Okay, Sombra. 2 translocator charges with range limit that heals slightly, can't overheal. Reduce hack damage multiplier, but increase damage. Hack lockout plus damage boost duration, reduce slightly for tank. Did I skip yours? Oh, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet with Sombra. We're still going. Well, I just want to, like, before I forget these ideas. No perma stealth. What do you guys think? 10 seconds? 8 to 10 second duration, increased movement speed. Yeah, we did the temporary HP on TP. EMP, no invisible hack, maybe. I'm gonna write this all up into a big thing, but I'm just gonna throw some ideas. Maybe hack if skill shot maybe does damage, but doesn't work as well on tank. I'm gonna leave that on tank. I'm not sure what I want to go with that one just yet, so let's just keep going here. Oh, the clip size as well. Clip size shrunk. It's kind of dumb how big it is now. And Maximum range decreased. Casting time decreased. Hack enemy damage multiplier. Hack no longer disables enemy abilities. Hack cards now have cooldown duration. Jolly, Jolly, can you make a list of things that would be stripped from hack? If you can just type, I'd be curious. Duration. I don't love the whole cooldown duration increase. That seems like cancer of another variety. You know what I'm saying? No, that's all right. The whole resource meter with Sombra, I'm not going to put on my list because I don't love it that much, but I do think it's an interesting idea. Like I said, the MMO kind of stealth, like where it's a resource, you know, you go in and out of stealth kind of a thing. Yeah, these are interesting. Speed buff, blue beam, nano immortality, projected Zari bubble over health, nade vape, heal buff. But man, wouldn't it be brutal to have nano stripped from manual hack? And the problem again with that is that like it feels like brutal in some circumstances, but then it doesn't do anything in other circumstances. That's my only thing. I like the idea. Oops, am I skipping? Okay. But she doesn't cancel the nano though. I did skip you. Make a thread and ping me in the thread. If you don't mind. No ability lockout. Instead gives 40% gray health that cannot be healed once depleted for the duration time. So it's an HP nerf. There's an MMO I used to play called Lord of the Rings Online, which had a dread mechanic where you were around scary characters and they would cut your max, would multiply your maximum HP. I would be okay. This is an interesting idea, just as long as it didn't have like you couldn't chain it. The only problem I have with that is, again, chat, where is that going to be most useful on, right? The whole dread mechanic. You know, the reverse bubble. It's going to be tanks, right? Imagine cutting down a Reinhardt's HP by 100, you know? Anything else is just not going to be worth the hack because why would you care about taking 20 HP off of a Mercy? Right? Even with the damage boost, like, still there. Turn to help your team instead of disabled. That'd be kind of funny. Kind of broken, but kind of funny. And I can tell you the 40% max health damage is not the same grain, but all immediately depletes it. Maybe. I mean, I think it's a really creative idea. I think it's a really creative idea. Destroys itself. Gains the real DPS for passive and gains 15 HP when used as starting. Yeah, I'm not as a fan of the clone idea. I do agree with Jolly that the Translocator in some way, shape, or form is probably something we want to keep, even if it changes its identity. Like, you want some form of mobility because it's fun, you know. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, guys, I'm not giving everything. So if I miss something that you think is important, let me know. I'm trying to power through the last few here. Here's a question, guys. What if EMP was that overclock idea I had? What if EMP was overclock? Where she just like, I always like the idea of like buffing yourself instead of like totally EMPing and trashing everybody else. Because like, what if you increase your fire rate by like 20% and like gave yourself like a mini shield or something? What if maybe instead of a strip hack could prevent the player to be the target of a targeted support ability like Mercy Beam? Maybe, yeah. Every person she gets, she hits something. Yeah, like an adaptive shields kind of a thing. Like a temporary buff, the more people that you hit, the bigger the buff. So maybe everybody's hacked, but you lose the damage done, and Sombra gains. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Lifesteal. That's too much on it. I don't know, man. Maybe it'd be too big on a tank. Place manual hack with a turret trip hour to deploy range. Lower additional hack damage. Give counterplay and destroy into. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. I definitely want to. I want to look at the last one here, and then we'll see if we can write something up. Be right back. Lifesteal mechanics are bad? Yeah, maybe. Be right back. Okay. Okay, so let's leave this for Sombra for now. Strip idea. Humble. First. What were the ideas with Pharah? Soldier. TF2 movement style. Quake. More verticality, more brief verticality, and horizontal mobility. Reward directs, not splash. Faster fire rate. Barrage, more like Valk in terms. Freedom, shield HP. Potential secondary ability. Fire, slow, ability boost, ult. Oh yeah, and damage fall off. Yeah, that's right. Okay. What was next, guys? Oh, we needed to do one more with Sombra thing. Sombra, get a green card off. Make transcater to last for 15 to 20 seconds. Will unlock a TP Sombra. After that, we'll not swap movement keybinds and hack targets. Oh, Quack, you're awful. Oh, lock this guy up. Put him behind bars. Swapping keybinds. Oh no, what is wrong with you? You are evil. You are evil. Shame on you. All right, guys, I'm gonna restart the poll. Who next? Who do we have left? Bastion, Reaper, Torbjorn, Junkrat, right? All right, let's vote. Vote in chat. Vote. I wanted to do the first two that were voted. The rest of them were relatively close, so yeah. Who do you guys want to do next? Man, these guys, y'all are evil, man. It's no way. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. We're gonna try to get through them all day, but if we don't, guys, don't worry, we will get through all of them. I'm actually thinking about considering doing the stream again on Thursday, and with catching up with the rest of the DPS. I would prefer quality over quantity, because like it's obviously like, hey, fun content, chat interaction, but also like I do really want to know, like, get some good ideas, you know. So I don't want to rush this too much, and we will get through the other stuff. And I will do like the support and tanks as well at some point. So yeah. Okay, looks like Junkrat's next. So hold on to your butt cheeks, guys. We're gonna do some Junkrat. Let's make our Junkrat list. Junkrat. Okay. I give him two modes, normal mode and also range mode that shoots slightly slower range. Moving Hanzo arrow that is a smaller bomb that does a bit less damage. Not straight like Pharah, but still dips and can bounce. Here's the thing, guys. We have so many suggestions in here that I could be pickier. So, you know, with all due respect, just shout explosion at the end removed and only have the body shot hitbox. Junkrat. I just saw Junkrat. I'm like, okay. Make it decrease a little bit with each bounce. Okay, let's start with this. What are the fundamental problems with Junkrat? I think Junkrat has problems in terms of the area denial spam down a choke is just flawed. Like, it's not only not particularly useful in Overwatch 2 because of how dynamic and how this map has opened up, but it's also not particularly fun to play against. The other thing that Junkrat has is the one shot, which is super niche, but super important and super frustrating to play versus. Junkrat is absolutely monstrous. So what's also things like trap, for example. What's fun with Junkrat? The mobility is fun. Hitting directs with your grenades is fun. The one shot is fun for you. It's not fun for the enemy, but it is fun for you. So I think finding something that, again, allows him to keep some sort of mobility, rewards directs like Pharah. Yeah, anyway. And then find something to do instead of trap, I think. Okay. Remove primary frag items, become sticky, and deal 70 impact damage, but no explosion damage. I don't know if I like that. Remove conch mine, replace with detonator that detonates all bombs on one thing. I think conch mine is like actually really important to keep. Personally, I think if we're gonna fix something, maybe you might have to fix like the one shot threshold or whatever else. Like, but I think that, like, what if we made like, maybe it would be too much like too similar like other heroes. What if we made like Junkrat's primary fire more like sim right clicks? Where it's like, but instead of sim right clicks where it's like straight line, but like has a pretty, it's like an onanade, you know, it's a very much faster projectile. You know, so it's like the projectile speed is faster, you know, but it does less damage. But I do think concussive mine is like mobility needs to be protected because that's what's fun. Miss Ariente, we have a lot of them actually. Miss Ariente, we've done Sombra and Pharah only. I feel like I said, like Junkrat, just imagine Junkrat grenades, but they move faster, you know, and they do less damage. So it's like more like an actual projectile instead of like a slow moving spam thing. Something like that. I don't know. We're similar to the raised blast back. If I throw it directly horizontal player, it will send horizontally, but not always upwards as well. Oh yes, 100% this one. 100% this one, where the mine always has a tendency to send you up. Let's put that one right down. Conch reworked to not force vertical mobility. Faster moving, less damage primary fire. Junkrat, when the bomb is balanced, it loses damage explosion size, encourages direct hits while still maintaining utility corners. Reduce damage on bounce. We talked about that one a couple times. Buff martyrdom. There's no way. Is he going to change his fundamental problem about the spamminess? Yes, because here's the problem. Why do Junkrat spam, guys? If I'm standing on a choke with Junkrat, why do I spam the choke and not shoot at a DPS like a Pharah, Soldier, Tracer? Why? Think about Symmetra, right? because it's easy value. Think about it from the flip side. What's hard value? Because you have no guarantee that you're going to hit the squishy that you're aiming for. You kind of see what I'm saying? You have no guarantee, even if you're skillful, that you're going to hit the squishy that you're aiming for. So you know what I'm saying? So like you aim for the choke because anything else is too low of a percentage chance to actually hit. But this is why the Symmetra changes have been, in my opinion, fairly decent, because it's actually worth shooting at squishies. You can actually kill squishies now. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, like, you know, is that going to change the spam playstyle? Yes, because it's going to be actually feasible to shoot squishies and kill squishies at short to medium range. Is he going to be a long range character? Is he going to be hit scan? No, but I don't know. I'm not saying that's like the solution here. It's just an idea. More mobility options come to mind. Yeah. We kind of talked about that. It's just over reliance on tight chokes. It makes very reliant maps to the point where somebody's only ideal very specific control for about planes. Okay. Primary fire damage dropped to 100. Fall off significantly reduced. Yes. Yes. So it arcs less. It doesn't do this. It does this. Right? Projectile speed increased, ammo increased, fire rate slightly decreased. Yes. Hanzo arrow, maybe not Hanzo arrow. Maybe that's a little bit too potent, but maybe at least like an Ononade or something like that. Yeah, I actually like this. Now this is, you guys are downvoting this, so what's this? Like smoke screen ability. 3.5 second duration, 13 second cooldown. Press E and Junkrat pulls a new gun that fires a shot increasing the gun goes through horizontal line. Yeah, so I think people are not liking the smoke screen as much, which I understand. It is something that we don't have in Overwatch, so it's a little bit of it's uncomfortable to think about that. Yeah, Verashi, the thing with that is we're going at it with the idea of making every character a little bit more interesting and engaging to play. Saying it's accessible because it's easier to play, but skill is relative. Like, for example, chess is a fun game for beginners because it's a little bit tricky, but if the other person is a noob as well, it's still fun. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're playing basketball with a hoop that's like an inch, like a tiny little hoop for basketball, right? It's, if if for example, we were to do this Junkrat change, right? Would that hurt lower ranked players trying to pick up the Duke game? No, it would not. It would feel very similar, and it would only reward players that would want to apply themselves a little bit more to the hero. You kind of see what I'm saying? That's the point. So when we talk about increasing skill ceiling, we're not making every character unaccessible for lower ranks, because that's not how these things work. Everything is like, because remember, it's a PvP game, right? So if it's gonna all balance out, right? Reduce hitbox size for grenades, reduce direct damage for balances, remove direct for balance, increase grenade travel speed, reduce arc, basically reward aim. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I 100% agree with these. But yeah. I'm thinking with Junkrat. You see, we don't have to make Junkrat a tracer skill expression hero, but I think, why not better than he's at? You know, like this Australian NAS cut up and so all part of the fall upwards. Isn't just aim though, right? But for Junkrat, a lot of that skill expression right now, or lack of skill expression, is the aim. And not, at least in terms of how a lot of the different ways that he's played. Increase Junkrat's fire rate, decrease splash damage, increase ammo, decrease projectile speed, increase projectile speed. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys, everyone's pretty much on the same page with what would be fun with Junkrat here. At least I think so. If he lands on an enemy for 5 years, he can mount them and explode them for 250 HP after 2 seconds. This is one of my patrons, guys. This is the type of person that gives me money, okay? And helps support my channel. That's the type of intelligence that it takes here. If he loses like wall bounce arc, why not just play Pharah? You know, you make a good point, actually. That is one of the skill expressions. Maybe if the projectile size is smaller, or make projectiles size smaller. It's skill expression often, not always, but yeah. No, that's a fair point. No, that's a fair point. Yeah, I know it's, yeah. 25% damage before grenade hits any object. After it bounces, right? Small explosion, 8 ammo and mag. Trap is a little bit more visible. I'm looking for a good suggestion for trap, is what I'm looking for. If we did the rework to the mouse one, the rework to conk for allowing for more horizontal mobility, and gave him something instead of bear trap that was kind of interesting, I think that's really all the hero needs. Because I feel like this might be the easiest one we've done yet. I feel like he's close. Mine boops twice as much. People and Junkrat go flying. It's like the biggest boop of the game. Yo, what's up, Barry?
I'm gonna be
surely gonna be an L. Oh, bad news about it, by the way. Maybe trap is not an issue for most people. I mean, it's not. You guys are looking at this the wrong way. I'm not saying that trap is necessary. Like, I don't know if that was a subtle dig at me that I just missed. It's that it's like, as a Junkrat, it's not super fun. Like, there's not a lot you can do with it. Like, you can use it to zone an area, you know, which is like fun enough, but like in like zone a flank, and like you can use it, but it's like it's the least interesting part of his kit by far. And so there's not a lot of skill expression, and also just as importantly, there's not a lot of fun expression for either the Junkrat player or the enemy team. Like, you can trash on conk and like whether it should do that much damage, but it's freaking fun for Junkrat players. So for what we need to do is we really need to target the skills that are not fun for the Junkrat or for the enemy team. That we start with that. Are they actually doing any of these changes? Listen, guys, I will launch a blimp. Okay. I will airdrop. Oh yeah. You forget bear trap. I just want bear now. Yeah, just Junkrat summons a bear. Cannot be stuck on enemies dealing 10 impact damage. You know, that's actually kind of interesting. Would that be broken, that you could stick concussive mines on somebody? Like, you shrink them a little bit, but they kind of stick. But you can destroy them, or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's kind of dumb. I feel like that could be fun, but also kind of dumb. You know, okay, and here's another one. This is kind of interesting too. So you reduce the damage, so it doesn't one-shot a lot of tanks, but it significantly increased the boop. I know we're talking about like crowd control here, but maybe it's an equal compensation for reworking bear trap, because I could smell all sorts of dupe hunter clips from a boop with Riptire. Shoots his trap at primary people? Yeah, maybe, yeah. Let him hide? Give him like an ability to disguise himself as a prop or something? No. Oh my gosh. Dude, I freaking loved that game so much. That game was fun. Like a spring trap that launches somebody up in the air or someone to bob so your team can shoot them. It's an interesting idea. That cardboard box over there is actually Junkrat. I don't know. It's interesting. The rip tire damage reduction, but boops? Maybe? Interesting. It's different. It's different. Focus on Discord suggestions. Okay. True, I should do that. I'm a Junkrat hater. All right, well. You have to hold primary fire for the projectile to travel and let go for it to explode. That's that's an interesting idea. Sticky bomb that will auto detonate after 3 seconds. This is the problem. This is his mobility. He needs this, you know? Like, we can go back and adjust the amount of damage it does to remove one-shots, but yeah. That will bounce off of any surface. Pulls out a missile launcher and fires a single projectile with very fast travel time but very low splash damage and high direct damage. I don't know. I'm not super sold on all of these. Yeah, no, I see. I think giving him something like this is definitely fair. Junkrat with an RPG. Yeah, and I really hope that you guys aren't like, don't get your feelings hurt if I skim past your idea. It's not because I don't like your idea. We're trying to, in the interest of time, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these are not redundant, but similar ideas. So I really appreciate you guys writing all these up. I want to make sure that's being said. Junkrat rework. Fake health pack. If triggered enemies leave your Junkrat's old shield generated voice line for 45 seconds straight. Oh, swimming eternal also gives Junkrat a mini sound barrier. You guys are killing me. Please, you guys are what are you doing? You're not an expert. Listen, mate, I have seen some of the best ideas from non-experts. You're good to go. Oh, man. Damage down. See, I like this. See, we can definitely reduce damage to remove one shot. Focus on the mobility side of things, not the damage side of things. Increase the knockback from himself. I would say, yeah, see? I don't give a rip. You know what? This is good. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Add a damage drop off. Maybe, yeah. I mean, kind of some of the Pharah, I guess, yeah. Honestly, okay, this might be a bit of a hot take. Oh man, maybe this is too spicy. I wouldn't mind if projectile characters to have slight fall off at a certain range. Certain heroes, maybe not all heroes. I don't know. I have to think about it more. I think about like a hero like Hanzo, Junkrat, Pharah, Symmetra. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, Orisa suffers so much with that fall off. I'm torn with it though. I wouldn't want it to be anywhere like hit scan fall off range though. That's the only thing. That's way too harsh. But I don't know. So an idea to toy with some other day. Because you also don't want to nerf projectile heroes because projectile heroes aren't even that strong right now. But also, yeah, exactly, Kiriko, like, right? Like I don't know. I say we end the stream. You can have a trip mine that slows player down and reveals him for like a second. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, I think that would be objectively better than trap. I'm just getting greedy. I want to see something that I actually like, not just that's like, okay, that's not bad, you know? You know? Come on, guys. I'm too niche. Now has a okay. Low GM Junkrat OP for Ratchet is probably too niche. Blizzard have said they want characters not to come around another solution. Junkrat now has a Glock. Oh. Wait, you literally gave him a Glock. He wasn't joking. They literally gave him a gun. They literally gave him a gun. Literally a gun. They just freaking gave Junkrat a gun. That's crazy. Y'all are wild. Freaking love this. All right, come on. I want something here. I want something. Total mayhem is now tossable. Steel trap is dropped on death. All right, come on. What does steel trap focus like longbow grenades? What does that mean? Does anyone know? Robin, are you here? You were here a second ago. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of skim through these just because I want to focus on steel trap now. Explosively placed like a widow venom explodes in someone near it, slowing the target. This is probably the best one I've seen yet. Explosively placed like a widow venom explodes and somebody steps near it by slowing the target. The reason why I like that over tripwire is because it's not something that you have to step on. I think something like venom mine, small explosion, scalding, like tripwire-ish, but a little. Grenade teleports where you place your cursor. Very fast travel speed, long range. Instead of venomine, it's rat poison. Robin, can you link something in the chat that shows what you're talking about? Is it you? Here's the other question. What would we do with this passive? I feel like trap and I feel like pretty pleased with where we have our conch and a primary fire. So what about his passive? Passive and trap is what we need here. Passive and trap. I like the idea of trapped enemies can see through walls, like the Venomine kind of idea. Junkrat's primary fire hitbox is 20% for trapped enemies and does 50% damage. It's a good idea though. It's good. It's an idea. Make his passive. His passive should be triggerable, but only when airborne. Passive can be triggered, but only when airborne. Cooldown? I don't know. But how would you trigger it? How would you trigger it, though? Oh, when he mind jumps, it did it. Oh, with conk. By the way, if I ever don't respond to your messages immediately, this is why. This is just from today, or yesterday and today, or late yesterday, actually. Trap with a melee. Replace trap with a melee. Dude. Time out. Yo, what if he had like a melee ability with his peg leg? Get off me! You know, and he like gives you a jab, you know, and does like extra damage and a little or something. Dude, what if he like freaking whips out his peg leg and it fires like a quick like a no, that wouldn't work well with his, but like a flamethrower or like one quick explode. Dude, there's possibilities here. Oh, a slight explosive with AoE. Ooh. Yo. Remove bear trap. Peg leg, small explosive AoE in 2 to 3 meter range. Knockback plus 80 damage or something. Or maybe we don't want the knockback. I don't know. He already has boops with concussive mine. Maybe concussive mine. Maybe it's like coach gun, but it only does it for himself. No knockback. Okay. And that would replace bear trap. Concussive mine only gives self knockback. Yeah. Maybe remove. Maybe remove knockback and give peg leg. Would it be like an AoE knockback? Like not coach gun, but just like kind of like, well, I mean, okay, this just sounds kind of dumb because we already did that with ERE. I don't know. There's an idea there. There's like a peg leg either as like a melee tool. Maybe we don't have the knockback with peg leg. I don't know. Junk art. 3 mines, buff each one to 150 damage and decrease the cooldown. Have the total mayhem death mines drop faster, creep ripped off. My gosh. Cthulhu, man. It's freaking Biggie Cheese. His suggestions are just dog. Freaking hate Biggie Cheese's suggestion. But removing knockback would make hitting double concussive mines really easy in a free LM. True. So keep knockback then, yeah. Keep knockback. Then what does peg leg do? What does peg leg do? Man, I was so excited to have some peg leg thing, but if it's just like a close range explosion, then I don't feel like it's going to be super useful. A jetpack? Jump jet up like like a super jump kind of a thing, just like just whoosh in the air. That would make sense. And places a weak burn effect. Weak burn effect, like dynamite. Junk slowly turning into Pharah. I mean, that's the tricky thing about these characters. It's like, I really feel like Junkrat and Pharah should not have been different characters. Two relatively mobile, like projectile explosive characters, like that's like a fundamental design problem, and I don't think that's fixable, sadly. How about he throws peg leg at you and then you get tetanus? Okay. Yeah. I'm okay with this. We're getting there. He can really already do all this with his mines. Yeah, see, that's the only problem I'm struggling with. Is it not redundant having mines and the peg leg? What do you guys think? I like the burn effect with the close range thing, but I'm trying to find out a way to justify the extra mobility when you've already got concussive mines. Plays trap with a cannon, it can shoot himself out of Kirkusoff for some insane distance. You know what? That would be so much fun. Reduce trap duration. Yeah. He throws a boomerang that has flames coming out of it and burns the targets it hits. Maybe, yeah. But in a skillful, fast way, surely. Reducer, maybe damage explosion. Let me see. The whole stick and concussive mines things is interesting. Peg leg flamethrower. You know, that was one of the suggestions. What do you guys think about the peg leg flamethrower? Some good old quality AoE damage. Small burn effect, 5 meter range, 8 meter range. And I'm not talking like anything crazy here. Like 50, 60, 70 DPS, 50 damage burn over time. I don't know. I mean, is that crazy? That's just May's primary? Yeah, but the damage over time thing is unique. And it has, let's say, like a more AoE, like a bigger radius than May's thing. Flamethrower. Am I smoking crack? I don't know. You know those balls and chain enemies in Mario games? Yeah. Now seeks towards enemies. Oh, that's terrifying. Alright, what is this bear
Or
trap?
DLC, but it's Seraph Fender in that DLC with Seraph Crystals.
Oh, I see. So it like instantly seeks the target. Interesting. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Burn effects are very annoying. Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe not the flamethrower then. What about the peg leg shotgun? What about the peg leg shotgun? I don't know, man. What if you had like a peg leg shotgun, but you can only fire it once every 8 seconds? You know what I'm saying? It's like an animation cancel. Kind of like Coach Gun, but it doesn't knock people back. It just does for damage. Does he really need more up close power? Yeah, I don't know. Ah! Man, surprisingly, designing heroes is hard. I could have sworn that it was like, you know, easy, man. All right. Okay. All right. Poll time. We'll do maybe one more. And then we'll save maybe 2 more for Thursday. Vote Bastion, Torb, Reaper. Vote. Oh, Bastion's killing it. Poor Torb. To be fair, I do feel like Torb is probably one of the least interesting characters to fix because, yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of inoffensive. He's just kind of there. Reaper needs more skill expression. Needs more skill expression. Too many of his abilities are weak too. The nice thing about Bastion, though, is I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like Bastion's not going to take as much changes. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like Bastion's going to be like pretty even faster than Junk. I feel like just Bastion needs a couple of tweaks of like his turret form identity, you know, maybe his ult. The biggest problem with hero balance is avoiding mobility creep. I disagree. I think mobility creep is the goal. I think that's the one thing that you need to mobility creep in 5v5. I think that if you're going to creep anything, creep mobility. Because that means if you creep mobility, you don't have to creep CC. You don't need as much CC in your game. You don't need as much self-sustain. You don't need as many one-shots. I think mobility creep is the one thing that you should be okay with creeping, at least in Overwatch 2. So let's zoom through some Bastion stuff. Off to a good start. Give him a speed boost in Sentry form, but the cooldown on transform is longer. Okay, let me just make sure so I'm not like an idiot. What is Sentry form? It's the normal like walking around thing, right? That would be kind of interesting, actually, a speed boost with Sentry form. Huh. Or I assume recon? I assume that's what we mean, right? Recon form, right? Because I'm looking here on the wiki. What do you do with Ana and Zen? I don't think every character needs mobility if they have some form of range. Like, I think ranged heroes need the least to their mobility. But I do see what you're saying. Oh, recon. Well, then I disagree. I think I think giving him a speed boost in recon, if anything. I mean, I feel like I'm getting the wrong inspiration from this suggestion, but I think like speed boost and recon, if anything. Like allow him to move a little quicker when he's not. I kind of disagree. I think, here's the thing, guys. Okay, so I'm making the mistake of starting without actually starting. Bastion form, what do we not like? I'm by me again, remember, exclamation mark bias. I think turret form is not a good enough skill expression. I think his ultimate is too easy to counter / too easy to just it's not bad, but I just don't think it's the best. I think it could be better skill expression wise. And I think that too much of it, like I said, the big thing is the recon / sentry form thing. It's like it's two on one side. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I think his nade is like a little bit busted right now, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's better than his old self heal. His nade is definitely like a little bit busted right now, but it's at least like, you know, it's okay. I feel like this is a step in the wrong direction. I feel like if anything, his recon form should be less punishing. It's the same problem I have with Ramacha, where the hero basically doesn't exist functionally until he goes into Nemesis form, and then that's just basically his entire kit revolves around the least. Because to me, the weapon in Sentry form or recon form is like super interesting the way it functions and like landing your grenades. I don't know, like just going turret form is like the least enjoyable aspect of his kit. So like, I don't know, this seems like going the wrong direction. Make him like super tanky in the mode that he's already tanky and is not as fun to use and frustrating to play versus. I don't agree with this one as much. I'm gonna stop using the thumbs up and thumbs down one. It doesn't really matter anymore. That's why I was thinking like the speed boost, you know? What if you like shrunk his hitbox size a little bit in recon form? Hitbox size in recon form? Maybe like slightly more speed boost, slightly better recon, like that would be a decent quality of life change, no? I'm unsure on the gun, how the gun should feel, because I feel like I don't feel like I have enough time on Bastion. I've been playing a lot of them recently, actually, for a video I'm working on, but has his old ult back. Old ult, maybe damage reduction. How much did old ult do? Did it do 200? Because I think 200 is a good number. We've done Sombra, Pharah, Junkrat. We're not going to be able to finish all of them, sadly, but we will be able to get at least 4 done. I think we'll get 4 done. 205. Okay, 200. I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm so torn with the old Bastion ult because I know one-shots and all that stuff, but it was a relatively skilled one-shot. Maybe we like really nerf. Keep an eye on splash. Like it would need to be a direct. Maybe? I don't know. Primary fire rate increase, ult back. That's honestly all I think he needs. Fire rate with sentry recon, maybe? I don't know. I feel like with recon, I feel like the damage is like fairly decent if you hit the shots. It's just kind of hard. His current one can one-shot too. That is true. Saying it just because it's avoiding it because it's a one-shot, it one-shots now. Do I like nade? I'll get to the nade. So my problem with nade is I think the splash damage is it was the worst change they did. I don't mind it sticking and doing a lot of damage, but the fact that it's like it still does a lot of damage on splash. I think I'm gonna actually put that change splash damage reward on sticky nade. I think the whole point of it being a sticky nade is that it rewards you for sticking people, not for missing the shot. Right now, the stat, like you can do, what is it? What is the maximum fall off on sticky? It's actually crazy, I think. Yeah, I mean, look at that. 100 splash. Look at that. That is insanity. 130 damage, 100 of which is not even the direct stick. That seems silly to me. And the minimum is still 50 damage, which is nothing to sneeze at. So I'm not as much of a fan. Yeah, visually the grenade is a little strange. But it is, I find it to be the most, I don't know how are there any Bastion mains in chat? From the Bastion that I've been playing several hours, the hit, sticking somebody with nade is like the most fun part. It's the most fun, I think. I think if Sentry is full auto, his recon form should be burst fire. Yo, that would be interesting. What do you guys think about this suggestion? I know we're kind of going back and forth chat and stuff, but like, what if like his turret form was like kind of like burst fire, like burst or something? Dude, what? Okay, what if his recon form was like FAMAS in Black Ops 1, the 3-shot burst? Wait, FAMAS or Modern Warfare 2? Geez, I'm dating myself with this one, am I not? I don't even know if I can find anything.
YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I drop subscribe. And with all that, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Listen. You see what I'm saying? Would that not be fun? Yeah, dang it, I forgot Batiste. Dang it. But dude, Batiste is so much less satisfying with it. It feels so much worse with Batiste. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't read chat for like 2 seconds and I'm paying for it now. Yeah, that's true, Valkyrie. Yeah, I don't know. I think something, weapon change of some sort. Wama is right. The old ult was cooler, reward skill was less. Okay. Make it show stick on your screen when you're stuck with this nade. Nade explosion delay. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Stick detonation time increased a little bit. Give him a 4-round burst, surely. Cheers, Rashi. Headshots do 100% damage in Sentry form. You can't headshot in Sentry form, right, chat? Am I smoking something? Oh, okay. Yo, Wakaj, thanks for the sub, mate. Turret form doesn't get its 20, doesn't heal 50 armor. Yeah, that's true. The damage reduction and the healing of 50 armor. Okay, what do you guys think about the... It does seem like, again, like the change with the heal of 50 armor just rewarded the turret form even more, again. Which we don't want turret form to be bad. I mean, it can even be better than his normal form, but the gap can't be that significant, you know? And right now you have the damage reduction, you do significantly more DPS, you have the 50 armor heal, you can also grenade. Yeah, maybe lower ammo, less ammo, or I don't know, guys. Like, I really... Damn, I went into this thinking that like this was going to be easier, but this is actually not as easy as I thought it was. Maybe look at the issues that recon form has and why it feels so much worse and go from there. Yeah. I do want turret form to be less cornball though. That's the problem. What if we did this? Okay, hear me out. Turret form can headshot, but does significantly less damage. Like, I don't know, 60, 50% less. So if you hit headshots, you do more damage than you did previously. But if you don't hit headshots, you do noticeably less damage. Because if you did that, you could keep the armor heal. You could keep the damage reduction. Because you're fat, slow, and you're not doing as much damage. Yeah, adjust spread accordingly. I'm not familiar with Bastion's spread right now is the problem. So I think I can get with the spirit of the change, yes. Yeah. No, I know that there is spread. I just don't know the percentage increase, basically. Okay. You need to reward, like, when you go turret form, I'm thinking more like heavy, close range punish. But it needs to reward you being able to aim. And right now it just doesn't. Like, it does too much damage and not enough in some circumstances. Isn't that soldier but worse? No. Because if you're hitting headshots on a target, it's a ridiculous amount of DPS. So it's going to do the same thing that Bastion does now, where big fat slow targets burn, but it's going to take more skill to do so. And sticky grenade, and his old ult. I don't think Bastion will ever be like there's some characters like I think Junkrat and Bastion that are never going to be like super high skill ceiling, right? But better than, is this better than what he is now in terms of, is it more effective and is it more skillful? And I think the answer is yes, at least some of these. Bastion is shank. The whole Ganymede thing is something interesting as well. Nade himself in the A's and stab them to finish them off. Yeah, something like a Ganymede Sonic Arrow, but I don't. How would that be like not? How would that be unique at all? Oh yeah, I'll move the camera, sorry, or the thing. Yeah. Here. Yeah, sorry. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Bastion, recon form fire rate increased. Recon form minimum damage increased. Hitbox reduced. Tank damage reduced. That's an interesting take. I don't know that I would necessarily do that if you reduce the base damage, because the problem with Bastion right now is it's so much easier to hit hot shots. Now you could argue that it's so much easier to hit headshots as well on a tank, which is a good point, to be fair. Dude, I don't even know how to do these changes. I would need like the workshop thing, but that is true. That would be fun. He needs the lower ammo and turret. Yo, that's actually true. Lower ammo and turret to help versus tanks. So he doesn't burn tanks. To help 4 tanks. Wait, guys, there's another solution as well. Nerf headshot multiplier. So, to like 0.6 times. So hear me out. He has a smaller clip, but he can smaller clip and does less damage in turret form. But he can headshot, but the headshot damage is reduced a little bit. That makes him even more cycle oriented though. I mean, maybe I'm missing the forest for the trees here, but like my whole point is that we want turret form to be more skill oriented and a little bit more flexible. Because the problem is right now is this is also being coincided with a spread nerf, right? And this is also going to be coincided with buffs to recon form, maybe the speed boost thing, hitbox size, maybe some fire rate, you know? Is he still going to be reliant on turret form? Maybe. Because if you reduce the spread as well, that's also a reward for not shooting tanks, right? Reduce the damage going to give him 2 try to make him immune to CC. Oh, you know what? Actually, guys, should we give 2 charges for a grenade? Less damage, but gives more mobility options. But his spread is already not bad as it gets tighter the longer you shoot. Yeah. You don't think it gets tighter as you shoot? No, I don't know what to think. Bastion slows to a stop and speeds to a start while reconfigure is being activated instead of slowing completely change forward. So he slows down with reconfigure. It's faster. Yo, Akvod.
Flashpoint isn't fun.
Yeah, it's not too fun, is it? Form 1 shotgun, replace grenade with the dash of sorts. Maybe like roller blades or something. Increase space movement speed. Recon transfers the gun to very weak version of turret. Increase movement speed. Maybe, yeah. Drop your ideas in the Discord if you drop, because if I don't get a full read, it's kind of hard for me to say. Casting time. Casting time recon reduced. Instead of restoring for armor switches to assault form, Bastion restores armor switches from assault form. Armor switches to recon mode. Cooldown reduced to 6 seconds. So he gives him a little burst of healing each time. Configuration, assault. Can no longer move him. Can still take knock back. I don't know. I don't know if I like him standing still, though, in the turret form as much. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Brian? It revs whatever internal it has, and after a 3-minute, it launches 40 the same time. Some sort of a dash, yeah. To me, I think it would be better if we did this with the 2 grenades instead, and if we removed the self-damage. I understand the argument here, though. Direct damage reduced to 175, reduced from 205. Splash damage reduced. We talked about that. Oh, you're fine. It's not your fault. Rate of fire increased to 1.2 shots per second. I think it's interesting that basically it's not a one-shot anymore, but it's a fire fast rate. That's true. That's actually true. Faster fire rate can justify less than 200 damage. Yeah, I mean, if it's a shame that they don't use the tank, because that was a real. I agree with the take here. His ult here is made for Overwatch 1. His old ult was made for Overwatch 2. I think that is true. And making him a mini Junkrat with the grenade is true as well. I don't think we have a solution here. Hmm. The different gun ideas is interesting. Interesting little idea with the old as well. Yeah. Is that you, Valkyrie? Is this you? Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Leaning more into multiple different weapons. Flexibility instead. The barrage, artillery barrage as well. I'm gonna have to combine all of these at some point. There's like, here's the thing I've learned with, at least with Bastion, and there's a couple of other things as well. There's like different ways that you can look at it. You can take what we have with Bastion now and make it better, or you can rework the hero into something more interesting, right? Like you can give Bastion, remove his self damage, remove self damage on grenade, Or you can just replace grenade. You know, you can make the ultimate better, like artillery barrage, or you can just find a different ultimate. You know? I don't know. That's true. I mean, here we go. Here's your Bastion. Okay, chat. Here's your Bastion rework. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shrink recon form hitbox size. Increase movement speed by 5, 10, whatever percent while in recon. Give turret form headshot damage with a much weaker multiplier and nerf the overall damage / deal with the spread. If you need to deal with a clip as well, whatever. Give Bastion, leave grenade as it is. Give Bastion, remove the self-damage on grenade. Increase the stick time to kill, the TDK, like the little detonation, by 0.1 seconds. And nerf the splash damage, which is stupid. Give Bastion a secondary weapon, shifting his current primary fire into a little bit more range, a little bit slower fire rate, and his second weapon into a budget shotgun. I think you allow a small heal on shifting into or out of either form. I think 25 armor or 25 HP or 50 HP, whether shifting into turret or shifting out of turret. And ultimate, you can either revert to Overwatch 1, or if you feel like playing it safe and go to Overwatch 2. It felt clunky. Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. Dyrus, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it, mate. Dearest J. I don't know. My solution is to make it so you can swap between forms anytime you want, but it has a charge. This is very similar to what Stefano was saying, which I liked. But it has there's a sort of energy bar that drains the swap form unless you swap back and slowly regenerates. You also get a boost of energy when getting a kill. I wouldn't necessarily getting this complicated, but maybe making turret a resource meter where your gun overheats and it kicks you back into recon mode. If we did that, we'd have to remove the heal on transitioning to the turret form. So like you have turret on instead of a cooldown on a resource instead, with a maximum duration of like 6 seconds or something. 7 seconds. And that way, it doesn't feel as black and white like this person's saying, where it's like you either have your turret or you don't have your turret. This is what Stefano was suggesting earlier. Turret on a resource, maximum 6 to 8 seconds. My problem with keeping the heal is that reward swapping back and forth like too much. Like that could be abused, I feel like. The sticky nade boop enemy targets? It does, yeah. Yeah, see, we have a lot of crap here. Valkyrie, I agree with you. I am going to shrink this down, I think, by the end. I think I like the turret on a resource. I can live without the turret headshotting if turret is on a resource. I think recon form, hitbox size, maybe the secondary weapon that you suggested, and removing his self damage from his grenade is immediately like huge quality of life changes. Tomorrow prepare Bastion with hammer. Well, the key thing is to have complexity and skill expression without having like 12 different abilities. So that's why maybe... That's why maybe we don't need a third weapon option. Maybe just keep it as turret and current weapon, grenade, and leave it right there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, exactly, Utuda. That's what we're trying to fix here. I think the resource thing solves that. Could you have the grenade manually triggered? Maybe, yeah. Helicopter Bastion solves everything. Yeah, Bastion as a resource meter. I feel like we could debate Bastion all day long, honestly, and I feel like a moron because it's exact opposite of what I was expecting. Four forms. Attack helicopter. Old turret. Like Overwatch 1. I mean, I'm having a hard time hating on it too much. Race car Bastion meta on Flashpoint. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's... I don't know. The grenade stays in recon form. Grenade remove... Wait, no. Wait, no, it's removed entirely. Wait, never mind. Yeah, she's been sitting there, sleeping there all day. He loves that. Man, I don't know what to do. Maybe okay, here's the thing. Maybe I need to stop being a perfectionist. If it's step in the right direction, it's good enough. Here? All right. There's no way this is real. I cannot believe it. Was this actually real? Oh, no, 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 no. Wait. Okay, it's not real. Oh my gosh, that's actually insane. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna lean on the side of trying to not overthink this one too much. We have a couple of, I think, not objectively, but as close to objective as you can get, good changes for him. We'll get those. I think the hitbox reduction and recon, maybe not movement speed. The turret on a resource. I think it's removing self damage from the grenade that's like immediately quality of life changes. And I oh man, like I'm so torn on like the whole hit combo. Like maybe it shouldn't headshot with turret, but like okay, so then what else is there to do? What else is there to do? Because I feel like that's not enough. Like we need something that's going to give more skill expression, right? So what else is there? Because my problem here is this is all like quality of life changes, and it shifts some of his power away from like it's definitely quality of life changes, and it does give him a little bit more skill expression. But I need a little bit more skill expression, and I don't know where that's going to come from. Okay, sure. So is the solution then just to give him that third weapon? Is that the skill solution? Because right now we have the smaller hitbox, resource with your turret. Those give him a little bit more skill expression, but nothing really significant. They just make him better without being quite as cancerous. But I'm not as much of a personal fan of like having a weapon choice being your skill expression, because then it just boils down to mechanics, which is like not as fun. I mean, it's something, right? Can destroy the glass in Colosseo. Single target. Shane knows. I remember this. There was a whole Reddit post just making Bastion a tank tier that had a lot of good thoughts. Maybe the old ult. The more I think about it, the old ult is like the real skill expression, at least the obvious one. The turret, they shoot the explosions. He was like a cannon fire, yeah. If recon. Hi, Mari. Hi, bunny girl. I gotta show. Hang on. And if these were to tag targets, check this out. This is my cat. Amari, watch that tail. Amari, what are you doing? He's dead. That is an Ethernet wire. What are you doing? Watch the tail one more time. Amari, what are you doing? The slightest twitch. Okay, so let's finish this up. I only need one more thing for Bastion. We need to find some way to give him sort of a skill expression that I'm confident in. Grab them. So we have this, which we like, old ult, splashed, some tweaks with grenade, maybe. Maybe we ditch the whole turret form headshot things. Is there any further tweaks that we need to turret? Okay, here's a thought. Here's a thought. A little bit more skill expression here. Check this out. What if we reduce the damage from grenade? Reduce damage to grenade to 100 or something like that, and reduced cooldown. What is it right now? $130, but reduce it to like 100. So you have more mobility options, right? Without being like redundant Junkrat kind of an idea. Maybe the different weapon option, difference of the option, but make Sentry immobile again on a cooldown. That's more like he is like a version of Soldier Sinister multi-tool and turret is just a base of Fireblade. Yeah. What do you guys think about the nade idea? Basically the same thing, but like where it's like, what is it right now? What's the cooldown? Why can I not see this? Okay, 8 seconds. It's like 6 seconds instead. So like 6 second cooldown. Well, that's crazy, though. Because I think the nice thing about having it as a resource is if you waste it and you're like, oh no, if you use your resource, like you transition into turret form and you go back again, maybe there's like a minimum amount. It like subtracts, like you still made a mistake. You can still be punished for getting your turret form wasted, whether it's the transformation time or you used a third of your resource transforming. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, I don't get punished for wasting my turret form anymore. Can he grenade jump with that? Yes, he can. Yeah, he can. Just sit still and transform. Rate of fire and recon and reduce damage drop off. Reduce damage drop off. I mean, recon's going to get a lot of buffs. Reduce damage drop off, shrink hitbox size, and recon's going to benefit the most. Well, maybe recon won't benefit the most, but those are some decent buffs there. I'm not so sure. We obviously. Okay, so here's the only thing. He's going to lose the armor heal, right? So do we give him something to compensate? Do we give like the first? Okay, what do you guys think about this? Seriously, guys, is the speed boost thing? Am I smoking something? Is that like off the goop? Is it crazy to say that Bastion should have Genji's and Tracer's passive? Is that crazy? I can't tell if that's like in with the lore, like fits the lore or doesn't fit the lore. That's what I'm saying. He's big and old and heavy, but he's also like a mechanical machine. So like. If you'd be really kind of fast, but remember, only in recon form. Only in recon form. Is he going to benefit from it though? I think so. It gives you a lot more flexibility. My problem is that if he loses his 50 armor heal for transforming into turret, he needs some form of value elsewhere. And this is the thing, guys. Hear me out. Speed is sustain. Speed is being able to move from point A to point B to take better positions or to grab a health pack. That's sustain. Speed is sustain. So, right, recon should live up to its name. So I'm in agreement that I think the turret form needs to remain more turret form. I think giving it some motion, I think me and Valkyrie kind of disagree with that a little bit. But I think speed boost, hitbox size reduction, damage drop off in recon, grenade on a 6-second cooldown, turret is on a resource. Keeps the damage reduction in turret, I think, for right now. Somebody in chat said convert his HP into armor. That might be too, and then not have the damage reduction. Yeah, the grenade is the E ability. But I actually think that if we give him like these little tiny details, like reducing damage drop off, speed boost in recon, lower cooldown grenade, maybe we don't need another ability, because the lower cooldown and grenade, being able to swap to your turret form as a resource, and the faster movement speed, it gives enough flexibility. And I think if we can combo that with, I know it's unrealistic, but we're just spitballing anyway. This whole thing is a spitball. It's not like I have Aaron Keller's ear. If we give him back the old ult, you know, but his kit doesn't support that playstyle. Well, you're assuming that we're thinking like flank Bastion, but it's not. It's just repositioning, either disengaging, engaging, or taking high grounds or things like that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think, let's put it this way, guys. Like, considering this is just this goofy Twitter project with my Discord, I mean, we're not even developers. Let's not kid ourselves. I think we got some good ideas. Like, I know it's like, it's not like we all of a sudden made Bastion like the most high skill ceiling character with like super fun slow expression. I'm still a little bit torn about like having multiple turret options. That I feel like that's like, that falls almost like with the Torbjorn idea, where like there's some really fun things you could do with that. But like I think this was good, guys. I think this is good. Like I feel like almost all of these would be not, I wouldn't say not objectively good, because we'd have to see how but objectively fun, right? Again, objectively fun. Listen to me. Subjectively fun, right? I mean, I every single one of these heroes I'd want to play. I want to play like a lot of them. I would. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree, but I just feel like this kind of stuff is like, this kind of stuff appeals to me a lot. You know, like a little bit of the mobility creep, a little bit more dynamics. And it's not just about like, I think people like think that like, oh, I want every character to be high skill. That's like part of it, but it's also just like, I think some of these like lower skill like heroes they're just not quite as interesting to play for like the larger player base. I think the problem is that we get this mindset, and I know this is going to be a bit of a hot take, but we get this mindset that because this character has like a dedicated OTP fan base, that the character is well designed. But to be honest with you guys, there are a lot of people that love Teletubbies. You know what I'm saying? And they love like, they love, fill in the blank here. Like, people are just weird. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. If it's niche, they're gonna obsess with it. So like, if something is not well designed, and because it has a rabid fan base does not mean that it's well designed. There will always be a certain percentage of people that for whatever reason it clicks with them and it sticks with it. Doesn't mean that you have to have a popular hero for it to be a good, well designed hero. I'm just saying that the opposite isn't necessarily true either. Yeah, the problem is that we want more communication with developers, but as you guys saw even in my Discord, like there was a huge spectrum of ideas. I won't even say bad and good because I think it's, like I said, more subjective than anything. But there's and like this is just some random tweet I put out there. Like I know most of the people who gave the suggestions, you know. So it's like, can you imagine like if they actually open things up here? I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty low-hanging fruit to say that, yo, they should do a better job, like, you know, working with the community and stuff like that, because I mean, we came up with some legit good ideas, I think, you know, y'all did, but you know, it's hard. Will you do this for tank supports in the future? Yeah, I will. I mean, also keep in mind, we're not done yet. We're gonna do 2 more on Thursday as well, and then yes, we will do tank and supports. And I think tank and supports are going to be, okay, let's put it this way. There will be fewer tanks and supports that I think we'll have to do. Like, I'm going to skim through the list right here. Tank, Roadhog, Orisa, maybe some tweaks in a hero like Sigma or Zarya. I think Sigma, Zarya are heroes that we'd want to look at, and probably Ramatra. Just because they're either too myopic or they really are too strong. I think, yeah, pretty much just myopic, I think is the way to look at it. They're really strong in certain circumstances, not strong in all in others. And I think that's something that, and like I said, no reworks for those heroes. Like Roadhog, Orisa, maybe not a rework, but certainly Roadhog, something heavy-handed. Orisa, Sigma, Zarya, those heroes need some tweaks, I think. Should throw D.Va in there for fun. I mean, you're not wrong. D.Va, I would say, doesn't really anything major at all, but maybe a tiny tweak for D.Va, you know? And then for support, Baptiste, Lifeweaver. We've already fixed Lifeweaver. We're actually going to skip Lifeweaver. I did a whole video on Lifeweaver. Couple of things with Lifeweaver. But Baptiste, Mercy, Moira, I think those are going to be the big 3. Ana and Zen are more like niche, how they affect tanks more than anything else. I don't think those characters really need to be touched at all. But Baptiste, Mercy, and Moira, most likely. So it'll be a much shorter list. Yeah, much shorter list, I think. So yeah. Yeah, I think Lucio's fine. I mean, he's as long as he's able to keep his like his own ability to like duel people and just kind of play the game that way, then I think he's probably fine. I wouldn't overthink Lucio too much. I also tend to avoid touching characters that have been fundamentally considered well designed for a long period of time. Like I think like we don't want to overreact with like this whole Ana thing either, you know, this whole Zen thing. Like Discord might need some tweaks, Nade might need some tweaks, but let's not break the hero. The hero is one of the most popular characters in Overwatch history for a reason. It's really fun. So you don't want to like you don't want to mess if it ain't totally broken, you know. Ball needs a rework. See, that's I'm not even sure Yeedle's video. Does Yeedle have a video on Ball? But see, I don't even know if I agree with that. Maybe he needs, like, Ball might need some tweaks, but I think the problem with Ball is more so that he's been victimized by some of the recent changes more so than anything else. Like, the May change is, like, almost completely irrelevant for everybody but Ball. The cast change doesn't hurt Winston very much, it hurts Ball, right? Things like Sleep Dart, Discord, those things hurt Ball. I think Ball is still a fine. The problem with Ball is honestly not even, I think, a problem at all. He's just a freaking hard hero to play. You change some of the way the CCs change. Maybe you give a little nerf or a buff or a tweak here and there. I disagree. I have to watch Yeedle's video to give my opinion, because I think it's unfair to quote him out of a Twitch chat comment. But he's just a really hard hero. And if the thing is, again, it's like, yeah, I won't get too much further into it. Okay, so I will go watch it first. Yeah, I will go watch it first. All right, chat, loves and kisses. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll probably do some Ask Spilo. We'll do some Hammer Time. We'll have another short coaching session, so exclamation mark coaching. I'm actually finally not booked out for 7 months in advance, finally, after the longest time. So we'll continue. We'll finish up the last 2 DPS and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate everybody staying in chat. This is like, I needed y'all's help with this one because I'm not smart enough to kind of like process all these. I need ideas. I need people telling me that I'm an idiot. And so, yeah, loves and kisses. I might do a video of this. I might do like a quick recap. I won't obviously use the entire stream, but I think doing a quick recap might be helpful for folks that won't be here. So anyway, I'll see you guys in 2 days. Let's actually raid somebody before I finish chat. GM support player playing Ana. I will see you guys on Thursday. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.